Voila! Let's do the greeting. Let's do the intro. How's everybody doing? As I wait for the ability to hear myself. Oh yay, I get an ad. I love ads. It's exciting. We love ads. Ads pay the bills, so you shouldn't be shitty, human boy. Well, fuck you, I'm gonna be. Alright, seems fine. Oh boy. What's going on? Tonight, we got a stream. We're gonna let people gather. I'm gonna let people gather quick. Tomorrow, I don't think I have a stream. I don't have a video I want to work on. And then, I don't know. I guess, like, I could just sit on early access and answer people's questions, but it seems asinine. I took the 12th, Thursday, off of work so I could stream the new patch all day. Probably do what I do with the Chaos Dwarves release. That was kind of fun, where I let other people who got the DLC join and play with their new toys, and I, like, play every faction once kind of thing. Or something like that. I don't know. Because me playing with the new stuff is also kind of cool, but it sucks for the people playing against me if they have to play the same old stuff they've been playing forever and they don't get to play the new things because I'm playing the new things. So that's just kind of... that's a little sad. That's a little cringe. Okay, so that's all that. What's going on tonight? We have 10 replays that are apparently certified bangers. Our delightful mod team was running an event they called the Rat Race, where to drive up some server traffic before the DLC. Pre-DLC is usually kind of a dead zone. So want to drive up some traffic. They got people playing games, and every game you played enters you in a raffle. And if you get drawn in the raffle, you get a prize. We have a profile picture drawn by Ryder Rohan, if I'm not mistaken, 2 DLC Lord keys, and then 2 flat-out DLC keys. So out of those 5 prizes. But there was also a side project, which was the best replay. The best replay submitted during the contest would get one of those prizes. So 4 of the prizes will go to raffle. 1 will go to whoever wins tonight. So we've gathered 10 of the best replays from our event, and you, chat, are going to help me, Human Boy, pick the best replay here. I'll do some narrowing it down, but if it gets close towards the end, we'll be like, all right, guys, I've narrowed it down to these 3, and I'll put up a poll, and whoever wins the poll will win it. Right? And then that person can pick from the prizes what they want. Now, the real contest is between the Ride of Rohan Discord profile picture and the DLC key. I don't think anybody would optionally choose to get just one Lord from the DLC instead of the full DLC, but it is what it is. So one of these 10 people is going to get either a DLC key or art of their choosing tonight. Let's see. We have Gotrek Starbreaker, Pigman 202, NC Anti-Kaiju, Nurgle's PA, Contrarian Codex and Ash, but who submitted it? That's what matters. They don't both get a key. Fuck that. Sorry, one sec. There it is. Rat Race Replays. Scroll up. I think Codex submitted it. Yeah, Codex submitted it. Butcherbird, Captain Telis, John FB, Black Knight, and Captain Telis again. All right. Let's see which of these guys gets it. The order doesn't really matter because they're all allegedly great. Let's start with this one. Fuck it. We're at the top. Captain Telis versus KFT's Ash. Ash is chill. Popped up in our Discord a while ago. From the replays I have seen, they are a very good player. Let's do it. Let's hop in there. My mods did comb through all of the replays submitted for this event. They got us the top 10 with a rating system. So I guess by that logic, none of these tonight are going to be one-sided. Otherwise, how the fuck did they get in the top 10? Like 30 plus replays were submitted. All right, for the builds, Dark Elves of Captain Tealis, we have Doomfire Warlocks and Dark Rider Peter Crossbows with some Coldwell Knights in the distance, a front line of 5 Witch Elves, a Fire Sorceress with Burning Head, and then Crone Hellebron on her Manticore with various melee buffs, Gaze of Cain, Witch Brew, and Heroic Killing Blow. Hey, War God, hi, Ash. On the other side, for the Tomb Kings, we have some Skeleton Horse Archers, basic Skeleton Horsemen, Melee Ushapti, Skeleton Spears, then the double Kitty Cat, Cetra the Imperishable, and the Sphinx of Usef. No shock that Cetra is bringing Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance. Shit's crazy. Shit will continue to be crazy into next patch. Some Dark Rider Peer Crossbows trying to poke down Cetra. Take a little bit of damage from Skeleton Spears, but not too much. They'll be fine. What up, Cash? War God will play against me when? On the new patch? When? Why? What's happening? Witch Brew popped. Rampaging the Witch Elves, but gonna get him into combat with those Skeleton Spearmen. They should cleave through those guys rather quickly. A little early on that proc, but I am glad they at least procced it. Gaze of Cain is also down 96 melee attack. You can see the Witch Elves are just tearing through the Skeleton Spearmen right now. As the melee Ushapti join the fight, Cold One Knights are also gonna hop in there, provide that armor-piercing anti-large. Cold and Dread Knights getting Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance. They're not enjoying that, as the Doomfire Warlocks are also trying to get peeled away from these Skeleton Horsemen, as the Sphinx of Usef's coming over here to say hello. Skeleton Horse Archers are getting a bit of poke off, but the front line is going heavily to the Dark Elves, especially after that Burning Head just swept through. Killed off a Skeleton Spearman and wounded Ushapti greatly, and it even tickles another Spearman further down the line. So Dark Elves feeling great about the melee fight. Not as great as the mobility stuff. Their cavalry, their very expensive cavalry, is taking a lot of damage. Hellebron's going to try and dive down to duel Cetra, but has to be a little careful. Doesn't want to draw the attention of that Sphinx. Or, God forbid, a 2v1, but definitely not 1v1ing the Sphinx at all. It's funny how many thought Witch Elves would be shit after they lost their Rampage. They're very good. They are very good. People just need to remember to pop that ability. Otherwise, they're kind of worthless. So Cetra is cycle charging a bit, and the Sphinx of Usef is not gonna go help with Hellebron. It looks like it's just focused on getting these Cold Dread Knights to rout, while the Skeleton Horse Archers and Nekar Horsemen will chase them off. But that leaves Cetra very alone. He's now trying to stop these Dark Riders from shooting him, but like still getting hit by the Doomfire Warlocks, getting hit by Hellebron. Hellebron is gonna fly away. Realizes the Sphinx is freed up and doesn't want to stay in this fight for much longer. Dark Elves are just going to push their advantage where they are winning, the front line and the bottom flank here. 2 melee Ushapti are left alone after all their Skeleton Spearmen have died. The Dark Elves are busy chasing down Skeleton Horse Archers as a Doombolt comes in for Cetra. Where did that Doombolt come from? Oh yeah, the Doomfire Warlocks. Gotcha. I was like, Firecaster doesn't have it. Hellebron doesn't have it. Cold Knight's getting Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance again. Quite a lot of damage to those guys as they run away from the Sphinx, but the Dark Elves have a lot of kite tools left. Still 2 very healthy Dark Rider Peter Crossbows with a lot of ammunition and nothing really to chase them down. I guess we do still have 3 Skeleton Horse Archers and an almost dead Nekar Horseman. Not almost dead. What am I talking about? 2/3. 2/3 HP. That's very far from almost dead. Cold Knight's going to turn back and fight the Great Sphinx, realizing they could try and get some damage out while holding in place for the Dark Riders, but I imagine these Skeleton Horse Archers are going to come into melee as soon as they can. Ah, it was a Gaze of Cain bait. Yes. Okay. Gaze of Cain on her own forces, plus a Soul Blight on the Sphinx Usef makes him prime targets for her units. As the Cold Knights get a full surround, Hellebron herself is also trying to knock that big boy down, and Cetra is going to join. Well, the Dark Rider Peer Crossbows are taking some damage. Doomfire Warlocks trying to peel the Skeleton Horse Archers, but unfortunately for the Dark Elves, they mostly have infantry left over, so they're not great at peeling off the light cavalry at all. As the Sphinx takes insane damage, Dark Elves are going to pull very far ahead, and Hellebron's still full HP. Without the Sphinx, Hellebron might be able to carry this game home. She is a much better duelist than Cetra, and then, oh no, some Skeleton Horse Archers. Whatever will I do? Dark Rider Peer Crossbows just take a fight with the Skeleton Horse Archers. That's kind of all they can do. If they just spent the whole game running away, the Skeleton Horse Archers have 360 shooting, while the Dark Riders don't. They have directional shooting, so they'll just get shot in the back the entire time they're running away. Might as well fight melee, get some damage back, as Hellebron is beating up the Sphinx, taking it to task, and she's got to be getting good value. Yeah, 1,100-ish. Just gonna finish off the Sphinx. It gets a couple good shots in on the way out, but it won't be enough to even bring her low. And then Cetra can't handle this. So with an abundance of Witch Elves, Hellebron very healthy, and only 2 Skeleton Horse Archers to support, Cetra is pretty doomed. Where did that Nehekar Horseman end up? So he got killed off screen by something as a burning head tries to go through the Skeleton Horse Archers. Doesn't do that much damage, but Cetra is dying, and army losses will take hold soon. Witch Elves are just very different now. I'm confused. Because they don't have rampage that they deal, they just have their little sudden buff, yeah. I mean, they kill a lot of stuff. He killed out the skeletons from under Cetra's front line super quickly. Coldwind Dread Knights still suck, unfortunately. Dark Rider Pure Crossbows were forced away the entire game, but the Coldwind Knights, Doomfire Warlocks, and the frontline killing power was enough to beat the Tomb Kings. For Ash, Cetra did alright. All of the spears got annihilated instantly. Skeleton Horse Archers did pretty darn well. Melee Shopti did their best without any spears. That is GG. GG. I'm not going to delete them as I go. I'm going to keep them so that I can remember what's going on. Is that Black Knight versus John FB? Lewin and some Grails versus 8 Globes. Believe it or not, this is actually pretty solid into Bretonnia. 8 Globes clear out a lot of their cav, even a lot of their infantry. It's strong. It's the big strong. This was actually submitted by John FB. It's just Black Knight's version of the replay. So if this ends up being the best replay of the night, then John would get the credit. For Bretonnia, Knights of the Realm and Grail Knights spammed out. 5 Peasant Bowmen, and then a bunch of Peasant Mobs in the front. Lewin for his self-healing, tanky Terror Boy. I don't know why he didn't bring the Lion's Shield. Skaven are going to use Flensing Ruin on you over and over again, so you really need that spell resistance. That's a little silly. You have a Damsel of Life with just Earthblood, and then some Field Trebuchets, and Mounted Yeoman for a little bit of extra presence. But yeah, Lewin without his Lion Shield versus Flensing Ruin is a little sus. Sus among us. And outside for the Skaven, 8 Globes, 4 of which are the purple Death Globe Bombardiers. 4 are the regular Poison Globes you all know and love. Frontline Skaven Slave Spears, both Doom Flayers. One is the ROR, one is not. And then Ikat Claw with Howling Warp Gale and Flensing Ruin for his spells. Just gonna try and lock flying units down. Make them easy to shoot for the Globes, or if it's Lewin, just Flensing Ruin his ass. In comes the Mounted Yeoman on the back line. There are no Rat Ogres to stop these Globes from throwing. There's no mass to stop this. I mean, sorry, stop the Knights from getting onto the Globes. But still, those Globes might be able to peel for themselves just with raw amounts of damage. Good little volley onto the Knights of the Realm there. There's Mounted Yeoman in the back getting pushed away. The Globes continue to throws. Decent dodges here from Black Knight, though, as his Knights have managed to avoid a lot of damage. As Lewin is locked on the ground, something is happening here. Oh, it's his Sword of Karon, okay. That's the same circle as Howling Warp Gale, so I thought he was maybe netted in place as Ikat dives in onto him. With all the Doom Flayers churning away, he's forced to run. I wonder if Ikat will just net him. But in come Knights of the Realm. Even though they don't have armor piercing, they can do okay versus the Dwarf Thing Menace. Okay is a keyword, not like fantastic. As now the Grail Knights are coming up. And so far the Globes are uncontested. It does not feel like Bretonnia has been able to hit everything at once. They're kind of trickling in and the Globes are just turning and firing at whatever's coming nearer to them. Overcasted Earthblood on those guys hurts the mage quite a bit. And the archers are having a bad time. They're shooting as possible against these Globes, but the Globes have 100 armor apiece, so yeah, not going to do great there, little Peasant Bowman. Knights of the Realm pushed away in the distance, took about half HP off of one of the Doom Flayers, not as much off the Dwarf Thing Menace, but Lewin hasn't been making much impact. And the Skaven Relentless Tide is just marching forward slowly. Comes another volley onto the Knights of the Realm, instantly deleting them between 3 Globe units all throwing at the same time. There go the Grail Knights, and they've managed to so far get through relatively unscathed. So they're now burning through 4 different globes at the same time, stopping all of them from throwing. I'm trying to kill these guys off, but in comes Ikit and the Dwarfing Menace. Flensing Ruin onto a Grail Knight? I am suspect that is worth your time. Doesn't do that much damage to multi-entity models. It really only damages single entities. Okay. Grail Knights are just going to get an overcasted Earthblood to heal them up. But that overcast damage is killing the Damsel of Life slowly but surely. She's down to half HP. Honestly, if Ikit turns and charges her, he'll just Terror Route her. And then you get rid of Bretonnia's healing. So those overcasts really biting Black Knight in the butt as he gets his Grail Knights to safety. Elsewhere, Lewin and some Knights of the Realm trying to keep the globes offline, but it is very difficult. There are always a little bit more left as this giant pile of Skaven who are routing. Yep, there we go. One charge on the Damsel of Life, and she routes off because those Earthbloods took her so low. Treb's still firing, just trying to keep Poison Wind globes routing where they can, but these globes have rallied. They're going to throw open the Knights of the Realm. And if Lewin can't solo carry, it's going to be really tough. Globe-friendly fire does take out one of their other brethren, but Terror Up from Ikit pushes the Knights of the Realm away, which will save this globe, and that Death Globe Bombardier should be able to rally too. As Lewin's back in elsewhere, he needs to dive in and route these Skaven slaves so his Damsel can come back. He'll also need Grail Knights for that. As the Grail Knights and Knights of the Realm are trying to peel for the Peasant Bowmen in the back line, though they're so close to the edge of the map that if they route, they might just run straight off. Comes the rear charge. Skaven slaves also very, very cowardly, so if they route, they'll just route right off the map. There they go. Knights have saved the peasants, as is their duty. And Black Knight, you gotta bail out the damsel, buddy. Who cares about this Clan Red Sphere? Route that Skaven slave, get your damsel back, please. Please do that. Please, go get your damsel. She rallies anyway in the face of the Skaven slaves just because they're such a pathetic unit and she's so important for the balance of power. I love that, but that was ill-deserved. Lewin definitely should have just gone and saved her. All right, we still have healthy Grail Knights who do need to take this opportunity to get in the back line of the Skaven and kill all these globes, because if they take a fight over here with Lewin, they're just going to get instantly murdered by the Poison Wind Globadiers. And the Doom Flayers and Ikit are out of position, so the Grail Knights needed to go over here. No, Grail Knights, you're just going to fucking die! Storm Demon's trying to get a shot down the side of him. It looks like it doesn't quite work. He has to recharge it up. But now the globes are just going to throw at him. But some heroic Knights of the Realm get in there, block those guys so they can't throw globes at the Grail Knights, who are going to fight a whole bunch of Doom Flayers and Ikit. No, they're just running away. Okay. There they're getting a heal from the damsel. That's fine, I guess. Did you overcast it again? You mad lad. He really wants that lady to die. Okay. Okay. So the Grail Knights have got to find something to do. They didn't opt into diving the enemy backline. Then they didn't bother fighting these Doom Flayers and Ikit. So now they're going to fight the Doom Flayers and Ikit? No, they got one charge and they're leaving. Dude, what? I'm so confused and kind of annoyed. What is happening with the Grail Knights? They get another Flensing Ruin Overcast, which is not onto Lewin. What is happening this game? It doesn't do very much damage versus Grail Knights. Please stop. Please stop casting it on Grail Knights. Also, Grail Knights, please stop charging and immediately leaving. And don't overcast Earthblood anymore, or that bitch will rout again. I don't know what to do. Okay, Lewin routes some more stuff with Terror Routes. I don't know how many of those have been natural routes and how often they're actually just gonna like shatter or go off the field. Knights of the Realm trying to charge the Death Globes, who do try and get into firing formation. They get a couple little shots off. It's not enough to rout the Knights of the Realm before they make contact, so that looks like the Death Globe will get routed off by their own friends. Grail Knights now taking the fight against the Doom Flayers for real. And look, the damsel's almost dead. I'm guessing she cast another fucking overcasted Earthblood and deleted herself. And the Grail Knights charge it again, but they don't stay in the fight. They immediately run away. Stop running away. You're just getting shot in the back by Ikit and hit with the Dwarfing Menace and other Doom Flayers. The Death Globes are going to finally get a shot at the Grail Knights. It looks like they're trying to line up, but they can't quite get there, and they get disrupted in time, and the Grail Knights charge through them. Okay, so we're stopping the Death Globes from throwing. That makes sense. This is the first thing that's made sense to me about what the Grail Knights have done in quite a while. The Globes for the Skaven are a spent force. They're not a factor, and Lewin is in. The damsel is very low. Casts another Earthblood overcast on the Grail Knights. Include yourself. Also, if that had overcast, you would have just died. But include yourself like once or twice. What is happening? I'm so upset. I'm very upset. If you haven't caught that, I am very upset. Some of the Doom Flayers are terror routing. Skaven Slave Spears are, Clan Rat Spears are terror routing. And the Knights charge in and immediately run away. Just stay! Stay and help Lewin! You're driving me insane! Stay and help him! Just take the fight with all the fucking things. The globes are coming back. Well, if you're worried about the globes coming back, then just run down the globes! Do something with the fucking Grail Knights! This is pissing me off! I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Okay. Damsel is back. Do not overcast Earthblood anymore this whole game. Please just heal her. Yes! That is a regular Earthblood cast of the Damsel. Yes! We needed that. The Grail Knights are back again. They're gonna charge something, I know it. Just have Lewin. This is making me so angry. Just have Lewin charge the globes. Rout them. Then the Grail Knights are free to do whatever the fuck they want. Those are Skaven Slave Spears. Sacrifice your peasant bowman for the globes. The globes are the last thing that threaten your Grail Knights. Then take a final fight with Lewin versus the Doom Flayers and Ikit. Please. Please. Ikit does a lot of damage to himself with unlimited power. Sometimes shit just happens. The globe for Archer trade is happening. There we go. Those guys have shattered. Grail Knights, you have nothing left to be afraid of, and you have a lot to do. You have almost heal capped, and you're at half HP, and you have done nothing this game because you just keep tapping. You just keep tapping the Doom Flayers. That doesn't do damage like that. Versus infantry, maybe. Versus Doom Flayers, you actually have to stay for a while. Yes! An Earthblood onto the caster and those guys. This is glorious. All right, yes, this is amazing. Lewin lands, terror routes off all the spears, and takes the charge bonus. In comes the Grail Knights. Yes, you're gonna get Flensing Ruin, but who gives a fuck? Because you're about to win the game. Terror out off the other guys. Now, Grail Knights, stay in the goddamn fight. You stay here, and you don't go anywhere. Lewin needs you right now. Ikit is taking so much damage. The Dwarf Thing Menace is taking so much damage, and the Damsel walks into the Flensing Ruin. I don't know why this bitch has to be here, but she's going for it. The Dwarf Thing Menace is about to tear up, then army losses will take hold, and Lewin will win. Ha! Ha ha! We got there. I broke a damn blood vessel, but we got there. I'm gonna be so pissed. Grail Knight's got 13 on value. Lewin got 1950. Oh. Archers did honestly better than I would have thought for not having Rat Ogres to shoot at, but they got it done. Trebuchet did great. For John FB, the Doom Flayer squad disrupted a lot of things, caused a lot of damage. Poison Globes did all right. Death Globes did not get a lot of value, unfortunately, and it got 2,700 from Flensing Ruining the Grail Knights over and over again. I think that might have been better spent on Lewin. It would have gotten you more value. If you could have tightened up formation and protected his globes a little bit, because we saw how Black Knight was super scared of them. So Flensing Ruins on Lewin instead of the Grail Knights, and then just like protect your globes a little bit better going to that late game and just get the Grail Knights between a rock and a hard place. The Grail Knights got 400 value in the last 20 seconds of the game. Yeah. Black Knight was really concerned about them getting clustered up around the Doom Flayers and getting globed. But then my problem, since Black Knight's in the chat, my problem is that Black Knight, who's in the chat, didn't then prioritize the globes with Lewin. You were still just running Lewin around like an asshole, chasing random Skaven slaves. If you're so scared of the globes, go get them. Black Knight, who's in the chat. Oh god, I love both of you. We love both of them. John FB with his always creative and silly Skaven builds, and Black Knight for just being a fucking legend. Black Knight's been on in some of our tier list videos. Frequent friend of the channel. Though he apparently infuriates me. Whew. Alright, we're calm. Hey, another replay from John and Black Knight. Do you think the Skaven player just assumed Lewin had the shield? That is a really good point, Twist. He might have. He honestly might have. Because the shield is so common in this matchup that then So, Twist, you're pointing out a good thing. Then the decision-making makes sense. If he thought Lewin had the shield and was literally holding it the whole game in case he got Flensing Ruin, then yes, that decision-making is correct. At that point, you have to start casting Flensing Ruins on the Grail Knight. Yeah. All right. All right, you win. You win, Twist. Anyway. Different game between these two players. John B on the Dark Elves with Lokir Fellheart on top of his dragon. We have some Dark Riders, 4 Cold One Knights, a bunch of Bleak Swords of Dread Spears, 2 Dark Shards, and then we do have a Sorceress of Fire with Burning Head. The other side for the Empire, oh, the days of old. Triple War Wagon from Black Knight. Karl Franz, Engineer, so that's like Quadra War Wagon. And then 4 Empire Knights and 1 Reiksguard. A Jade Wizard with just Earthblood, because it's Black Knight. He has to take just Earthblood. And then some Spearmen and Swordsmen. The Empire will try and kite the Dark Elves. War Wagons need to stay out of range of those Dark Shards or they'll die very quickly. And the little Engineer that could just sniping away. And he gets landed on by a dragon. And he takes some damage. And he takes more damage as the War Wagons are going to try and punish Lokir. And Franz is thinking about it. Franz is going in, baby! Pop Golem Miraz. Pop the Reichland Runefang. Get his ass! Lokir Fellheart's getting worked. Dreaded Duelist gives him 84-80 for melee stats, but melee stats don't mean shit against Triple War Wagon and Engineer, plus Karl goddamn Franz beating you up. Alright, Jeremy, you are winning, as long as you donate that DLC. Cold One Knights peel for Lokir and force the others back, while Reiksguard and Empire Knights then counter peel for the Emperor and get a free charge onto the Cold One Knights. This charge was not as free. Those Empire Knights are taking a lot of damage, but this spot right here, man, those Cold One Knights are having a bad day. As the War Wagons have fallen back, trying to get some more damage out. Dark Riders going on a bit of a soiree to surround and maybe cut off the War Wagons, stop them from being able to keep retreating. As some Empire Knights go to answer that, they need to keep their angles of attack open. Nice big Burning Head down the line of Spearmen to clear those guys out and give the Cold One Knights easy access to the back line without getting poked by those spears. Already 1 Empire Knight is routing. It'll probably rally. Might get some slow Earthbloods over the course of the game. And the melee front lines have engaged. There's not that much front line in this game, but there is some, and it's going to engage. One big cav fight over here. Cold One Knights a little outmatched. They're fighting like 2-1 at Knightwise, and there is a Franz nearby helping out. War Wagons firing over the top, but the Dark Shards still trying to get in range, and something terrible has happened to Lokir off screen. I know he wasn't looking too good after his brief fight with Franz, but he wasn't looking that bad. And he does have healing, but his healing only procs when he is in melee, so he's having a hard time finding a spot where he can safely settle down and get some shots off. Engineer is shooting up at Lokir Fellheart, constantly poking him down as Lokir tries to land. Like I said, he's trying to find somewhere where he can land and start getting some of that juicy healing he so desperately needs. But the Dark Shards are moving up, and the Empire front line's getting bodied right now. If they can get to a game state where they force the Dark Shards, well, they force the War Wagons to deal with the Dark Shards, that'd be good for them. But Lokir is stuck in a fight with Franz, wants to run away, still getting sniped, wants to run away, and another Burning Head goes through some state troops as the Bleak Swords are fighting Empire Knights. What's the cavalry situation? We still have some Dark Riders here and there. Reiksguard and Empire Knights are healthy. So there's 3 healthy Empire Cav, 3 very healthy War Wagons, and a Master Engineer. For the Dark Elves, not a lot of healthy Cav. We have 1 full health Cold One Knight. Something in the distance. Oh, those are just Bleak Swords. Kind of healthy Dark Rider. Kind of healthy Cold One Knight. With Murderous Prowess popped, it looks like the Dark Elves are going to make their play. Franz getting sniped out by Lokir. And Franz is a spooky duelist when he has all of his incredible buffs up, but without him, he's just okay. And Lokir is pretty solid. Dreaded Duelist up, 84-70 for melee stats. Dark Shards also poking at Franz, but speaking of poking, the War Wagons are back. And Lokir is over it. Tries to retreat. Get somewhere safe. Here come the Dark Shards, and the War Wagons are finally in range. The War Wagons look like they have to try and deal with this, but look at that. This is what we were worried about the whole time. If the Dark Shards get like 1 good volley off, they take half the HP off the War Wagons. We do have some Cold One Knights that need to get activated. Looks like the War Wagons were going to try and be Chariots, but decided against it since they realized these Cold One Knights are just sitting right here. And now they have to retreat under Dark Shard fire, which they're not going to enjoy. Hey, AFK Cold One Knights. Get a job, you bums. There they go. They're getting a job, those bums. Lokir is going to spend some time chasing down Spearmen to get free healing. He can still heal while he's chasing stuff that is routing. He doesn't need to be fighting back or anything. And the Dark Elves are losing their front line slowly but surely. Still have a bit. They still have some Cold One Knights that are charging into Franz and his boys. I think he's mostly going after the boys. Wants to take out some of these Empire Knights, take out that mobility that threatens the Dark Shards. Because we saw how well the Dark Shards can do against the War Wagons earlier. One War Wagon is routing. It'll rally, but it was still routing. I'm getting a little concerned that no Cold One Knights are in reserve here to stop the War Wagons from acting like chariots. They actually can do surprising amounts of damage in melee, but still they take withering fire on the way in. Ow, ow, ow. And some Cold One Knights peel. Good job, Cold One Knights, jumping in right when you're needed. So another War Wagon is down. We're down to one healthy War Wagon, a healthy Master Engineer guy. Regular Engineer, my bad. And now I'm getting a little concerned for the Empire. Their forces of cavalry are getting depleted. We have an Empire Knight and a Reichsguard left. That is about it. And for the Dark Elves, we still have a half-health Cold One Knight, a third-health Cold One Knight, which, I mean, they'll trade great into Empire Cav 1v1. Anti-large armor piercing versus just armored with decent stats. Reichsguard are stuck fighting on top of enemy infantry support versus anti-large armor piercing Cav. That is going badly for them. And the Dark Elves are definitely mounting this comeback as they've taken out yet another War Wagon with these Dark Shards, these heroic Dark Shards. But speaking of heroic Dark Shards, they've been noticed. I don't think they'll be heroic for too much longer as the regular engineer is surrounded by enemy troops and getting shot by Dark Shards, but we have some Empire Knights, we have some rallying Spearmen coming to kill off the Dark Shards. Cold Knights being peeled back for them. Dark Elves are in a commanding position in this game, like clawing it back. Not even from the jaws of defeat. They weren't that close to defeat, but they were definitely down. As Lokir just hangs on, keeps trying to slowly heal up with the Helm of the Kraken. And at this point, I don't know. Unless Franz can do some miracles, snipe out Lokir, and then hold his ground against these Cold Knights, maybe he could rally, but that really is the only way the Empire gets back in this, as the Dark Shards are still in a really good position to keep firing in. And these Knights, man, they're so low. They don't have a lot of models left. I don't know how much real DPS they can get out to kill the Dark Shards in time. See, these Dark Shards are just going to set up and, like, this cavalry charge happened, but it's just not dealing a lot of damage. These guys are exhausted, not a lot of models left, and they're getting shot in the head. There those guys go. Franz is still trying to hold it down as all of his buffs popped. He's even going to go for the caster real quick, try to get hit on her, but Empire Knights push her out of the way, so she is safe for now. For the Empire, one of the only things going well for them is the Engineer still has a lot of ammunition, and they still have a Jade Wizard. Healing is always an important force in the late game. Don't worry, Skaven guy, I'm here. What up, Trogdor? 1 second. You stay with Dad. You quit barking. Sorry. Dog was barking a lot upstairs. I had to go deal with that. Okay. Hello. I am back. Hazel has been retrieved. She is right here. Being cute and sweet and not barking anymore. So where were we, friends? Oh yes, Karl Franz has to put this game on his back, and currently Dark Shards are trying to make sure that doesn't happen. He's going to land amongst them. These other Dark Shards have attack orders onto the last War Wagons. I think he wants to take out the War Wagons so Lokir can engage. I think Lokir wants to get one final charge in, and with Dreaded Duelist and a charge attack, if he's not getting shot over the top by the War Wagons, I think he might be able to get some decent damage onto Franz. Dark Shards successfully take out the War Wagons, and if I was correct, then that means Lokir is about to turn his attention onto Franz. If he was truly just waiting for the War Wagons. One final Earthblood for Franz, but Lokir's coming in. Foe Seeker, Dreaded Duelist is popped, incredible melee stats, and he gets a charge on Franz. This is it. Franz, you're probably doomed. The only way you win this is if you somehow kill Lokir. But Franz is stun locked, takes 2 hits in a row, and he's going to rout, and that'll be army losses. As the Dark Elves get a really solid comeback. All right. John, I'll admit it. I thought you were doomed. Black Knight looked like he had you on the ropes, and then Cold One Knights, they just always have more legs in them than I think they do. You know, you see one at half HP and it's fighting like a full HP Reichsguard, and you go, yeah, that Cold Knight's probably doomed. And then 5 minutes later, it's still half HP, and your Reichsguard's dead, and you go, huh, I guess that Cold Knight's chilling. What up, Bob, man? How's life? Hope you're good. All right, that was game 3 out of 10. So we got some contestants for best game. Well, let's keep it going. Captain Tealis versus Ash. Another Captain Tealis versus Ash game, and another Captain Tealis versus Ash game where there's Tomb Kings, but now the Tomb Kings are on the other team, and there's no giant kitty cats. So, think about that. Kislev. How the mighty have fallen. They have not been having a good time since their last round of nerfs. Don't see them win very much on my channel. They probably win a good amount of games off my channel, but people love submitting Kislev losses just because of how scarred they are from the dark times. For the Tomb Kings build, we have a Bone Giant, Arc in the Black with just Spirit Leech for spells, Kepler Guard plus some Skeleton Spearmen, Skeleton Warrior Frontline, 2 Tomb Guard with Halberds defending double Screaming Skull Catapult, an Eyes of the Desert, and 4 Skeleton Horse Archers. For the Kislevites, we have an Ice Maiden's Kiss and Death Frost Ice Witch on Frostworm. Kislevite Warriors, an Armored Kossar Frontline mixed in with a lot of Streltsy in the back, 4 Streltsy, one of which is the Boydanov's Brawlers, which is pretty much just a shotgun troop. Wolfheart's Auction Ambushers with their net, a Little Grom, and some Winged Lancers. Little Grom is currently counterfiring the Bone Giant, doing some decent damage there, as the Ice Witch tries to get a little bit of her chariot action on. Though the Bone Giant and Arkin might have something to say about that, so she want to be a little careful. Yep, and the Eyes of the Desert. She want to be a little careful. By a little careful, I mean a lot more careful than she is being. Meanwhile, in the backfield, Scream Skull Catapults knocking the Streltsy around so they can't fire at the incoming Skeleton Horse Archers, who will get into melee with them soon. But they still will lose to Streltsy in melee. And then these guys are they got netted by the Wolfhearts, and there are Winged Lancers in the background, ready to also jump in on those guys. So we'll see how much the backline harass of the Tomb Kings really does. But with 4 light skirmish cavalry, I doubt Kislev's backline is actually that threatened. Much more concerning is how low their lord already is. Ash has to serpentine away, dodging a lot of shots. Front line of the Tomb Kings should win overall with the Kepler Guard and an extra reserve of double Tomb Guard Halberds if you need them. I would bet on those guys. As the Bordanov's Brawlers get a couple shots onto the retreating Eyes of the Desert, and then turn their focus on the Skeleton Warriors just to clear those guys out full free. Might as well. How's the backline of Kislev doing? Pretty darn well. Out of the 4 Skeleton Horse Archers, 1 and 2 half-health ones remain. Little Grom still firing away at the Bone Giant that is at half HP, but the Bone Giant and Arkin continuing to snipe down the Ice Witch of Ice. He's having a bad time. The Kepler Guard found their way onto Streltsy. It was a bad day to be Streltsy. Look at him running. Run away! Run from the Kepler Guard! For the Tomb Kings, both their catapults are still alive. Bone Giant's at half HP and falling, but still technically fully capable. And the Ice Witch just has to fully retreat from the fight, get into the backline of the Skeleton Horse Archers, and be useful somewhere else. As in comes the dreaded Ushabti summon. For anyone who brings artillery against the Tomb Kings, you know this is coming, and it's going to show up near your artillery. It's those damned melee Ushabti. Wolfheart's trying to clean up one of the Skeleton Horse Archers as they pack trap the Ushabti summon and just leave them there. Winged Lancers might need to get activated soon. The Kislevite Warriors are still trying to grind through that front line with their Armored Kossar brethren. But I don't know. Tomb Kings still have a lot of stuff left. I guess the bounce power is inflated by their summon for now. Lost the Skeleton Horse Archer officially. Streltsy are turning, and this could be a really big turning point, depending on how much damage they get onto Arkin. If they get him really low, eventually just like a single Death Frost could cause him to start crumbling, and then he dies. And Tomb Kings without their lord is pretty bad. I also forgot Arkin is here, so some of these Skeleton Warriors might not be real. Like, there might be a summon out there that just disappears suddenly. Ushapti summon is running out of time. 30 seconds left, but it looks like the Winged Lancers might actually kill it before it even despawns. The Wolfhearts are just fighting their way out from these skirmishers. Streltsy also trying to fight their way out of the skirmishers. So it looks like the plan for Kislev right now is eliminate the mobility of the Tomb Kings and then kite them, it appears. Because you can Death Frost kite a little bit. Little Grom can finish off the Bone Giant and then kill Arkin maybe. Arkin's getting real low. Ooh, no, he doesn't want to fight Armored Kossars. They're just a little rich for his blood. Well, that's Foot Arkin, too. Oh, yuck. Okay, Armored Kossars are going to beat his ass. I am very concerned. Ice Witch is still alive, fighting Skeleton Horse Archers. That's fine. Skeleton Warriors getting peeled so the Bottom Knives Brawlers can be brought back. Little Grom might use the last of his shots here on the Bone Giant, but Arkin hasn't taken that much damage since we last checked in on him, but he is alone and surrounded by Armored Kossars who don't seem to acknowledge he's existing. If Ash gave them melee orders onto Arkin, he kills Arkin for sure. It looks like they haven't gotten new orders. They've just been put on guard mode and firing at the Kepper Guard or something, because they have not swung at Arkin at all, which is a crime. Alright, Arkin got away with murder there. I'm a little pissed. Bone Giant's going to die of its own accord. And Little Grom only has a few shots left, so yeah, Little Grom immediately turns onto Arkin. Winged Lancers are also going to charge him. It looks like Ash has realized that the enemy Lord was in his grasp, and he is very sad he didn't get that kill, so now he's going to remedy that as Little Grom shoots him in the goddamn face. Kills Arkin as the Winged Lancers take their last Spirit Leech. But that does free up the Ice Witch, because now the Bone Giant's dead. It's just going to crumble to nothingness. Arkin's Spirit Leech is dead. So this lady's actually chilling. Nothing can kill her unless she walks into Tomb Guard and dies, or she walks in the Eyes of the Desert and dies. As they just took a ton of damage from a Little Grom shot from across the map. Little Grom, only 4 shots left. Wolfhearts have a lot of ammo. Kislev's got to do some kiting. Chaos Crumpin, how dare you? How dare you leave the channel? That is mean. Screamskull Catapults, still firing. They will get less and less effective value as everything gets so wounded that they really are hard to hit or don't take that much damage. Wing Lancers getting some decent damage out, but they'll have to cycle charge the Kepper Guard to do that. And they are instead going for the Screamskull Catapults, which on paper looks good, but remember the Eyes of the Desert are stalked, so they just got spotted now. And these Wing Lancers might be in a bit of trouble, but thankfully they will hide behind the skeleton chariots to stay safe from the prying eyes of the Sparkle Stalkers. Maybe they can get out of this alive, as they are now getting piled on by Tomb Guard. They have to retreat, and Little Grom has a big old arrow over the top onto the Eyes of the Desert. Decent little shot there. A little bit more HP, and the Wing Lancers get away scot-free. So that was pretty good for them, as the Wolfhearts are now in range to start firing over the top. Ice Maiden's Kiss through Skeleton Warriors. Just trying to clear those guys out. Solid choice. Death Frost doesn't have a lot of good targets here. Little Grom, what do you got left for us, buddy? One shot. You got one shot, one opportunity to get everything in this moment. Can you handle it, or are you stupid? Lose yourself in the stupid stuff, and you're dumb. And I'm Christopher Walken. Now you don't even know what's going on. Wing Lancers, gonna kill off a Screamskull Catapult, get it low enough that it starts crumbling, and without Arkin for leadership and its HP is so low, it should just crumble to death. So will this other one. And Little Grom fires this final shot down the line of Tomb Guard Halberds to get a good bit of damage out. The Screamskull Catapults do actually manage to rally. Sparkle Stalkers are going to fire at the Wing Lancers on the way out. These Wing Lancers are a key part of the Kislev late game strategy. Gotta stay as alive as possible. The Ice Witch may have overstayed her welcome versus some Tomb Guard. Runs away with a bit of Ice Maiden's Kiss. Armored Kossars fighting it out. And the Wolfhearts seem to be just trying to find a home. I'm kind of surprised they haven't pitched a tent and started firing at Tomb Guard Halberds. One of the 2 catapults is offline. The Kepper Guard are nearing their heal cap, and the Wing Lancers are just angling for a way to get to these Screaming Skull Catapults. Kyle Lavelle joined, gifting his 1 membership. Thank you so much, sir, as always. Mom Spaghetti is ready. And the Wolfhearts are in range, so they can take out the Screamskull Catapult. They don't need the Wing Lancers to be here, and the Wing Lancers shouldn't be here. The Wing Lancers should get as far away from those Sparkle Stalkers as possible. And the Sparkle Stalkers are trying to get away from the Wolfhearts. So both sides trying to keep their important units online. There goes an Ice Maiden's Kiss. And actually, yeah, wow. The Wing Lancers are actually just going to dive the Screaming Skull Catapults, take those guys out, but probably die in the process. There's an awful lot of Halberds here. There's Sneaky Snakes here. That is a sacrificed Wing Lancer for that. But what will the Wolfhearts accomplish in the meantime? Ice Witch dives into the Kepler Guard. Risky stuff. She takes like 150 HP. The Wing Lancers do get away. Sporkle Stalkers need to go down. The Pack Trap keeps the Tomb Guard with Halberds in place while the Wolfhearts get a couple shots off. There's a Death Frost onto the Eyes of the Desert, getting the Ice Witch away so she doesn't get shot by those guys. But the staying power of Kislev is in question. We still have 2 Tomb Guard to deal with. Your Chariot Lord is a Chariot Lord, but she's only 1,000 HP. Little Grob is technically a Chariot, but like, as the jaws of the Tomb Guard trap close on the Wolfhearts, and they're running, they're hopping and skipping away. Kepler Guard get hit with an Ice Maiden's Kiss, doing a little bit of damage, but they're still healing up. They're not even crumbling. Go, Wolfhearts, go. Armored Kossars fighting next to their Ice Witch. I'm kind of surprised the Kepler Guard don't just have attack orders. Yeah, attack orders onto the Ice Witch, for sure. They shouldn't be trying to disengage. They're not going to outrun her. She hasn't taken any damage in a while. I don't think they're swinging back at her. Oh, they're trying to. I don't know if they have attack orders onto specifically her or they're just fighting in general, but they haven't hit the Ice Witch this entire time, been hovering your health bar. Yeah, the Kepler Guard are trying to chase the Armored Kossars. That's a mistake. You got to take any damage you can out of the Ice Witch, because she's the biggest problem for you here. Her constant cast of Ice Maiden's Kiss, but also being able to cycle charge and being a leadership boon for all of Kislev, that's really brutal. So I think they should have taken that extra damage onto her. Now they're just trying to regenerate through the crumbling and chase down Little Grom. As the Wolfhearts attempt to get somewhere to fire, they're shooting the back of those Tomb Guards, so they're only 55 armor. Silver Shields are facing the wrong way, obviously. This does mean your Wolfhearts will take a bit of damage from their Tomb Guard compatriots. And this is the tricky part. The Ice Witch is a really good chariot. She can charge down the sides and do a lot of cool stuff. But these are halberds, and decently elite halberds. So every charge won't be for free. It'll be really beneficial, but it won't be for free. And she doesn't have a lot of extra space to work with. As the Kislev Warriors charge in, Little Grom is coming for a rear charge. Balance of power is heavily against the Tomb Kings. It's not decided till it's decided as the Kepler Guard are fading away. And these Tomb Guard are chilling. They're nowhere near their leadership. They're not going to crumble. Kislev Warrior shatters. Armored Kossars at 2 leadership. Negative force. They might rout. They rout. Then they shatter. And the Ice Witch thought about charging in, but she is going to rout? She was -1 for a long time. You can see the Tomb Guard, as soon as she even gets close, they turn on her. And she needs charging to keep her leadership up. Because we saw last time, she went to negative... Yeah, she's back to regular 5. So charging is really what's keeping her in this fight. But if she charges actually too close, the Tomb Guard are going to beat her ass. She's going in at last. She charges in, loses 100 HP, about 120. Now the Tomb Guard are closing in, loses 200 HP, loses 300. I told you, son. She do so much damage on the charge, but those are Tomb Guard halberds. You don't fuck with them. She has to retreat. She might rally at the edge of the map, but it's unlikely. We already saw her leadership was at 5 before, so who knows what it's at now. As Little Grom tries to get involved, the Wolfhearts are stuck fighting in melee, and the balance of power is still like, nah, the Tomb Guard can't do it. And I'm like, I mean, the Tomb Guard might be able to do it. They're chilling. As Little Grom's gonna get torn limb from limb. Watch that balance of power creep up in real time. You can see it going up the more damage Little Grom takes. The Wolfhearts are fighting their ass off. There's no Kislevite support coming, and it's going to get even worse if this lady goes all the way off the map. Their leadership will tank further as Little Grom tries to get a chariot charge, and that it was the most pathetic little chariot. He's wiggling around the side. He's like, excuse me, pardon me, I'm going to go rear charge your buddies over there. Oh, fuck, he gets surrounded. He's going to get stabbed a lot. The Wolfhearts are a spent force. The only chance is the Ice Witch coming back, casting a few more Ice Maiden's Kiss and getting an incredible charge. But she is going off the battlefield. It is G fucking G. There's no way a melee Little Grom wins this. That was a really good game. That was a really good game from Captain Tealis and Ash. The Tomb Guard late game carry. Bone Giant didn't get as much value as I thought. Ooh, wow, the Screaming Skull Catapults really did. Look at them go. Look at them killing it. Ash's Lord got a lot of value. Despite how early they got almost sniped, they pulled her back and used her very well into the late game. Little Grom with an impressive 2,700 value. GG. Righty. On to more John FB. This is the John FB channel. This is the John FB content hour. Butcherbird versus John FB, more Bretonnia, more Dark Elves, but never before have the two forces faced each other. Butcherbird not going with Grail Knights. Thanks, Chaos Crumpin. Alright, we got Lewin. It's the King of Bretonnia. It's the boy. Stand your ground and Sword of Couronne. Then we have 4 mounted yeoman archers, including the Wardens of Montfort, Poison ROR. 5 peasant mobs, and then a whole bunch of cheap-ish knights. These are mid-tier knights. Knights of the Realm and questing knights, including both of the RORs for those respective unit types. And we do have an Earthblood caster. On the other side for the Dark Elves, Rakarth up in the sky with Beast Slaver as his only ability he brought with him. Bleak Swords and Witch Elves to punch through the front line of the enemy. A bunch of Coldland Knights, a couple Dark Riders here and there to chase some stuff down. And we do have a Firecaster with Burning Head. Rakarth takes the fight with Lewin. Beast Slaver is popped. He is a much better duelist than Lewin in this state. So he's going to do his best. All the Knights of Bretonnia charge forward. They should wreck those Dark Riders pretty easily, but I think that was just kind of a bait from the Dark Elves to try and get good engagement for their Coldland Knights at a later point, who are now starting to move forward and charge the companions of Quinel's and some of the other guys. Karth pushes away Lewin. Where will he land? Breath attack down on the Knights of the Lionhearted, who are still clustered up. That could be an okay breath attack, but a good dodge overall from Butcherbird getting away there. Witch Elves getting cycle charged. In comes a Burning Head down the lines. Butcherbird sees it coming, immediately dodges away, and gets to safety. And now even a little friendly fire here from the Dark Elves as the Dark Riders get baited into charging through their own Burning Head. But in the distance, a very good engagement for the Dark Ones. A whole Knight of the Realm getting deleted. Now the Knights of the Lionheart and other questing knights are trying to dive back in. Honestly, I think the Dark Elves should take this. You're fighting on top of rampaging Witch Elves, and your other Coldland Knights could rear charge these guys. That's probably the best fight you're going to get, so I really hope the Dark Elves make the most of this. These guys got to turn around. They're currently just taking rear charges. They got to turn around and take the fight. The rest of the Dark Elves got the memo. Dark Riders and Cold Knights closing in, but this Cold Knight is unfortunately just going to chase through and do nothing really too much. Ooh, tragedy here for Butcherbird, though. His Damsel overextends into Witch Elves and gets beaten down. Lewin and some other Knights of the Realm are trying to take a good fight on this side, so that's going great for Bretonnia, but the front line is going to go to the Dark Elves. Of course, it was 5 peasant mobs. That's not going to win you any frontline fights. But that Damsel getting routed is huge. We'll see if the Dark Elves can actually chase her all the way down. Rakarth might have to be committed to that, and he's a very expensive Dragon Lord to send to just chasing down a foot mage, so that feels bad. Meanwhile, in the backline, Coldland Knights with Murderous Prowess popped. Lots of extra stats going to beat up on the questing knights quite handedly, even with the Knights of the Lionhearted support. And Rakarth is busy trying to just deal with any fight that's not going exactly his way. He'll tear out off the Knights of the Realm soon, leaving the companions all alone. It looks like Witch Elves are going to be tasked to chasing down the damsel. She is on foot. Pretty easy for the Witch Elves to keep up. And as long as Rakarth is nearby, makes it difficult for Knights to charge through those guys and get a lot of damage out. Coldland Knights were in a good situation. Lewin and these other Knights of the Realm reinforced to make sure that turns bad quickly. So this Cold Knight's going to take a lot of damage and get whittled down, but Bretonia's behind the balance power, and I would tend to agree. I'm liking what I'm seeing here from the Dark Elves. Rakarth, still spooky, still scary. 3/4 HP, no self-healing of any kind though, so he does have to focus on taking good engagements, not ones where he trades health, because he doesn't have a lot of health to trade. And meanwhile, the mounted yeoman archers just trying to peel the Witch Elves off with the Damsel of Life. It's not working, and she is slowly taking enough damage that eventually these guys might be able to shatter her or kill her outright, and then they don't even have to bother chasing her down. For the forces of the Dark Elves, we have 1 healthy Coldland Knight left, and Rakarth. That is really where their strength lies. For Bretonnia, 4 almost out of ammunition mounted yeoman archers, but then some super tattered knights who have no healing as long as the damsel is routing, and then a full health Lewin who can't fight Rakarth. Hey Kaiju, did you win already? No, you're still in the running, bruh. Haven't gotten to any of your replays yet, but we got 1 or 2 in here. Good kiting here from Bretonnia, really doing a lot of damage on the Witch Elves, punishing them for this chase of the damsel, and peasant mobs get in the way, trying to hold the Witch Elves back, and they do. Rakarth is frantically flapping over. He's like, no, 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 no. That bitch stays routing. All right, he takes care of it. She ain't coming back. But elsewhere, man, these Witch Elves are taking a lot of damage from these mounted yeoman archers. Good dive attack from Rakarth. Immediately shatters the damsel, and mission accomplished. The Knights of Bretonnia get no more healing besides Lewin's super slow passive. As the forces recoalesce, we will play the kite at ×2 speed. Any witch elves that get separated will get charged by Lewin and the boys and immediately taken down. Rakarth is here. Rakarth is pissed. And they just got to withstand the slow kite of Bretonnia. As we wait for a meaningful engagement to occur, Golden Knights with only bronze shields, 90 armor. They will take slow damage here from the mounted yeomans. End up taking a charge from questing knights. A little bit of damage here. I imagine another volley of arrows will be coming for them while they're stuck in place. There they go. They can't dodge since they were just in melee combat. Mounted yeoman, 1 volley, 2 volleys, 2 volleys. Plenty of good targets. It's actually a pretty solid breath attack on the Knight's Realm armor. Anyway, plenty of good targets for these guys between the Golden Knights and the Witch Elves. They'll do some good damage. And Rakarth thinks about fighting Lewin. Lewin thinks about fighting him, but Rakarth doesn't want to take a fight where Lewin might land and try and bait him into landing into all these knights. So he is going to try it, but I'm betting he is microing intensely on Rakarth and making sure that if Lewin even starts to descend at all, Rakarth's going to back off. Last volleys of the Mounted Yeoman Archers into the Golden Knights as Rakarth gives up on his little chase and recoalesces. Fast forward as there's kiting. In comes the charges. Quick burning head down the line. Not going to do that much damage to pure cavalry, but it's the only spell you have, so might as well use it. And here's a big engagement from Lewin and the boys. He's trying to use terror, so he's trying to terror out away the Golden Knights and the Witch Elves who are not ITP. Lewin pops his debuffs. All the Bretonnians are in. Full surround, really taxing the leadership of the Dark Elves. There go the Golden Knights, there go the Bleak Swords, there go the Witch Elves. Another Bleak Sword's gonna tear out, and all of a sudden, all of the Dark Elves are terror outing besides just Rakarth and his caster. But it's a two-way street. Bretonnians are also starting to terror out a bit, and there's not a lot of real knights here. There's 2 knights in the realm that are almost dead. All the rest are mounted yeoman archers. But the white flags are appearing over the Dark Elves. A lot of their units are turning into real routes. The terror routes have fully transferred into real routes, and the mounted yeoman archers can chase those off. Terror routing units will just rally in their face and then beat them up because they're mounted yeoman archers. We only have a Bleak Sword left, and it is getting charged once again by more cavalry. 0 leadership on them. It's about to tip down to the negatives. There they go. And Rakarth's got to find some way to get some troops back, methinks. He's not low tier. He doesn't have healing while in melee, so he can't just grind through all these low tier cavalry units. Good charge on Knights of the Realm. This game is not over, however. The balance of power says it's slightly Bretonnian favored. I would agree it is slightly Bretonnian favored, but you still have Rakarth, and he is still a problem. There's not a lot that can deal with him. Lewin is sniping out the Sorceress of Fire to great effectiveness. She immediately terror routes, and she's going to natural route after taking that much damage. So it's pretty much just Rakarth here. Bretonnians are going to chase down all of the Dark Elf units, no problem whatsoever. But can they even take down Rakarth? With 17 Knights of the Realm, 15 Knights of the Realm over there, and Lewin versus Rakarth. Rakarth pops Beast Slaver. Gets another couple hits onto Lewin. Lewin's just going to run away. And he is faster. Biaki is faster than Rakarth. I guess it's 90. Yeah, it's 90 speed to 100, so he's chilling. He's fine. Lewin's going to go chase down the Firecaster as Rakarth continues to grind through randoms. That might be GG. Bretonnia just has too much agency here. They can cycle charge at will, keep refreshing their charge bonus. Rakarth's just stuck, kind of T-posing right now. I think he's trying to get to Lewin, but he can't quite reach it. How did that bitch come back? She rallied in the face of Mounted Yeoman Archers, overcast Burning Head down the line to get the damage out she can, but also for the leadership debuffs to try and get these guys to rout away from Rakarth. But Lewin is doing so much damage to Rakarth in the meantime that it doesn't seem to matter. Terror routes come in for all of his support. But Lewin's just going to opt out, get back up into the sky, refresh his charge bonus, and heal. That was a sick little comeback there from that routing lady, but there's Lewin's charge. He's back in, he's fine. And army losses takes Rakarth out. Pretty good game. Pretty good game there. Rakarth with 2,800 value. Probably the most value I've ever seen out of Rakarth. Golden Knights did overall well. For Butcherbird, 1,700 on Lewin. Knights spread value pretty evenly. Mounted Yeomen got really good value considering they only cost like 400 gold apiece. Nice. Okay, we have Skaven and Tomb Kings. And then some other stuff. But we're halfway through the stream. I'm going to go let Hazel out now that she's done barking, and I'm going to grab a beverage while this loads. So I got to go quick. Yep. Contrary Codex versus Ash. Wait. I'm back. What do we got? Tomb Kings versus Skaven. For the Tomb Kings, we have double Bone Giant, double Screaming Skull Catapult, Cetra the Imperishable on his kitty cat. Nice source of terror and can charge through infinite things. Then we have a Necropolis Knight with Halberds and Nekara Horsemen, and a crap ton of infantry to throw at the Skaven to slow them down, including the Kepper Guard. For the Scabrinos, Rattling Guns, the Teeth Breakers, more Rattling Guns, so 4 Rattling Guns, 2 Jezzails, Ikit Zap Zap, a bunch of Skaven Slaves, triple Poison Globe, quadruple Poison Globe, and Ikit Claw on his Doom Flayer to make him a little cheaper. Cleansing Ruin, Howling Warp Gale. Alright. The Scryer build. The Rattling Guns are to deter Cetra or other cats from just rolling through the Skaven lines. I'm mildly surprised the Bone Giants are trying to snipe Ikit, but I think they're thinking he's gonna dodge. So I don't see the point. So Warp Lightning Cannon hits the Bone Giant in the face. Other Bone Giants still trying to snipe out some of the Rattling Guns. But the Jezzails should be able to outshoot this. Yeah, I mean the Bone Giants are deadly, so are the Screaming Skull Catapults. They might want to move the Jezzails up and get in range of the Screaming Skulls and take them down. And just walk up to the Bone Giants with your Rattling Guns. And of course, Ikit Zap Zap is still doing really good damage to them. I don't think it's a terrible target to shoot at the Bone Giants. I just think it's like slightly teeny tiny suboptimal. Screaming Skulls are a little easier for Jezzails to take out. They're still doing okay. So the Tomb King's advantage is going to be their melee prowess. Their infantry will get through Skaven Slaves. Not quickly, but they will. We do have Necropolis Knights. We do have some Nekar Horsemen, etc. So as long as they don't get gunned down by Rattling Guns, they'll be okay. Cleansing Ruin plus Poison Globe Fire plus Rattling Guns does a number on the Nekar Horsemen. Same with the front line. Skaven getting a lot of damage out. Cetra's got to try and find a home, but some Skeleton Warriors are breaking through the front line and causing disruption, which is really the big problem here for the Skaven. They just need to be able to shoot Cetra to kill him. Jezzails are starting to turn and fire onto Cetra as well, taking their fire off the Bone Giant, who might crumble to his death, but might rally if he stops taking damage, and Cetra's still alive. Balance power is 50-50. As we can see, the Skaven lines are interrupted. Necropolis Knights made it in. They're going to start damaging those Poison Globes, and more infantry are pouring through to just stop the Skaven in place. And Ikit has taken a lot of damage. The dying Bone Giant is focused on him, and he has rallied his leadership. He's still crumbling now, but he's at 0, so there's no reason he can't get a little higher. But something just hit him. Looks like Ikit's... No, Natty Booba Sharpshooters gave a good volley onto the Bone Giant, so... That Bone Giant's going to go down. Did a lot of damage to Ikit on the way out, though. And Cetra is rampaging through the back line. The Skaven are buckling under the pressure. We've lost a lot of Rattling Guns. We've lost a lot of Globes. Other Globes are still trying to hold on, still trying to throw sideways, and they really need to throw these Necropolis Knights. But also the infantry, I guess. There's a lot of things that they need to kill off. But Cetra is getting pretty low. Ikit Zap Zap's trying to reset his cooldowns, and it looks like possibly Nekar Horsemen are going to run back here and shut down Ikit Zap Zap. No, they're busy chasing the Warlock Jezzails. They might want to go ahead and run at these Ikit Zap Zap. That could be a lot of value you guys can get. And Ikit Zap Zap is slowly poking down Cetra. It's also resetting his cooldown, so he can't keep casting spells to slowly heal himself. Not that the Tomb King's army ability or whatever has enough healing, but like it's some, and everything would count towards Cetra at this point. These Necropolis Knights charging through, taking a lot of Globe damage. Tomb King's pulling ahead on the balance of power, though, just due to their infantry pushing through the front line and shutting down these expensive Skaven weapons teams. We're looking at Cetra's low health. We're looking at the Necropolis Knights' full health. One of the Bone Giants is dead. The other one's at like half HP, but it's not like the Skaven are spring chickens here either. They're feeling the pain. Nekar Horsemen do charge Ikit Zap Zap in the end. Ikit Zap Zap will lose, but slowly, because those big cannons get in the way. Rattling guns are starting to rally here and there. Try and get something done. As I think Ikit's coming out here to say hi to Cetra. Yeah, he throws down a Flensing Ruin. Curse Blades out of Cetra was trying to get a little bit of a heal off, but Ikit Zap Zap looks doomed unless something shows up to get rid of those Neckar Horsemen. We still have 2 Scream Skull Catapults, constantly applying slight damage, but also that Discouraged debuff. When something gets hit, take cover. Necropolis Knights are dead. Rattling guns try and kill the Neckar Horsemen to save Ikit Zap Zap. That will be successful. And Cetra survived the Flensing Ruin. He's still around. Can still cast spells from a distance, keep himself safe. The Kemper Guard are actually going to be very problematic for the Skaven here. They're just slowly regenerating. They've killed off a lot of the globes already. In the backfield, we have some very brave Skaven slaves fighting against helpless skeleton catapultmen. And I honestly wonder if the Bone Giant should walk back there and get into melee just to peel. It's a tough call, because that guy's slow shit. Skaven getting a bit of a second win in the high ground, but unfortunately Rattling Gun shattered just as I say that. Globes are not the globes you remember them. They don't insta-kill infantry anymore. They insta-kill cavalry, and they do a lot of damage to infantry, but they don't insta-kill infantry. So those Skeleton Spearmen can actually get to these Poison Globes and shut them down. Bone Giant is trying to tax Ikit Claw's health bar, and Cetra is back. Still getting sniped by Ikit Zap Zap. Still getting shot by the Teeth Breakers, and there is the Ushapti summon at last that I'm sure the Tomb Kings wanted a long time ago. Cetra is dead for sure. Alright. Tomb Kings lose their lord. They're going to start crumbling even faster. But Ushapti summon should guarantee the death of Ikit Zap Zap. Bone Giant's out of ammo. So Ikit is free and clear. And those Skaven Slave Spears are still fighting the Scream Skull Catapult. Another Skaven Slave Spear is walking towards another Scream Skull Catapult, so it looks like the Tomb King's artillery will also be shut down. As the Ushapti try and clear out Ikit Zap Zap once and for all. But I don't know if the Tomb Kings can really hack it, to be honest. That Balance of Power thinks the Tomb Kings have it. I am less sure. I suppose there's still a Kepler Guard, though Ikit has no brass orbs left. Ooh, that's actually really bad. Okay, I'm worried about that. Overcasted Flensing Ruin does hit the Bone Giant, but it also damages Ikit for a little bit. Ikit Zap Zap down to 36 HP. They ain't coming back. The Teeth Breakers are about to get charged, and they routed a lot. They have to be shattering soon. Okay, next route they'll shatter. Meanwhile, Cetra... Not Cetra. Whatever, this Bone Giant's Cetra now. Fuck it. Cetra, the bowman, does peel for the Scream Skull Catapult, terror-routing away the Skaven Slaves, keeping the Scream Skull online so it can fire over and kill the other Skaven Slaves. We still have one artillery piece in Moria. There's still one dwarf that draws breath in Moria. Ikit tries to fight the Bone Giant, decides against it, decides to run away. Respectable. And the Ushapti summon is gone, immediately bringing the Balance of Power back to 50-50. Kepler Guard, full HP. Bone Giant, nearly dead. Scream Skull Catapult, nearly dead. For the Skaven, we have Ikit Claw at 1/4 HP, a Poison Globe at 1/4 HP, and then a bunch of random-ass slaves. Scream Skull Catapult is back online for now. 4 out of 4 models technically here, all trying to turn and fire, but they get knocked off their mounts again. Skaven Slaves plus Ikit should be able to take them down once and for all. There will be no... Hi, Rat Boy. What up, dude? I can't pronounce your name because I don't understand the letters in it. I'm not literate in that language. Kepler Guard trying to rally. Poison Globes are more than happy to meet with them. And the Bone Giant in the distance going to fight Ikit. That's a bad call for Ikit. Bone Giant is no slouch in melee. 32-30 is not bad against Ikit's 40-36. 400 weapon strength, most of it armor piercing. Ikit decides against it. Bone Giant hit 1 shot out of 3, which is about right, but still did some good damage to Ikit. A little bit more Benny healing, so we will fast forward as the Kepler Guard chase those guys off. Bone Giant waddles into some Skaven Slave Spears and gets rid of those guys. Just as Dennis. Gotcha. Hi, Dennis. In the woods, Teeth Breakers? No, regular Rattling Guns fire their final volley before they will shatter away forever. As the Skeletons come in. Poison Globes over the top. Really good damage on the Kepler Guard, who are heal capped. Ikit Claw is back in the fight with the Bone Giant, however. And he takes a nasty shot to the face. I'm going to keep the Kepler Guard's HP in the background so you can see it on the left side of your screen, but I do want to watch Ikit fight this guy because that's kind of important. Ikit terror outs away. The bounce power gets dangerously low for the Skaven until Ikit fully rallies. Meanwhile, the Kepler Guard have ratted off the rattling guns again, and now there's Globes after him. But now the Kepler Guard with 28 speed versus the Globes 38. The Globes can kite them effectively, but something has to be attacking at all times. It looks like the Skaven slaves are charging into the Bone Giant for last time. Those Skaven slaves have to be shattering after this. They've routed like 800 million times between terror rods and whatnot. As another Flensing Rune goes down to the Bone Giant, it was overcast. That was risky from Ikit, but the risk seems to have paid off as the Skaven Slave Spears are now gone. But still, the Bone Giant is taking damage. 4,000 HP left on that big boy, though. Don't let his health bar percentage fool you. He is actually still very healthy. Rattling guns, Poison Globes are back. Globe's going to try and fire, but it's uphill and into the trees, so they're walking back into the trees. I don't think the Skaven player notices because there's two different fights going on across the entire map. He sees it now, and he starts to run away again, the Kepler Guard. Not able to catch those Globes, too slow. Bone Giant's waddling after. Flensing Rune is worn off. It gets at 1,100 HP. And the Rattling Guns who are stalked. The Tomb Kings don't know, so as far as the Tomb Kings can see, all the Skaven are running away. Oh, nope, there's this Skaven slave coming in. Bone Giant and Ikit. Ikit, why won't you learn your lesson? Just leave the Bone Giant alone as he takes a nasty shot to the face. That was 200 HP, I saw it. I saw him, he was at 1,100 before. He's down now. A little bit of crumbling from the Bone Giant, who's going to turn and charge the oncoming Skaven slaves. Kepler Guard's still trying to chase down the Poison Globadiers, but now the crumbling has come for the Bone Giant. He stomps. Globes still trying to get some distance between themselves and the Kepler Guard, who are heal capped. Ikit, learn your motherfucking lesson. Ikit, learn not to fight the Bone Giant. In the background, the Kepler Guard take a nasty thing, but Ikit terror outs again. The Bone Giant misses both of his attacks, so Ikit is super lucky to get away with just a terror out. As the balance of power is getting dangerously low for the Skaven, it might army lost them suddenly for no reason. The Bone Giant rallies his leadership. If you cast unlimited power and kill off Ikit Claw, I'm going to be so pissed. As the Globes turn and fire at the Kepler Guard once again. Another nasty volley, another 2,200 HP off the Kepler Guard. The Bone Giant resumes his crumbling, and the bounce power is rocketed back to 50%. As these Rattling Guns are filling the attacking role for the Skaven are attacking, so both Ikit and the Poison Globes can retreat. Bone Giant continues to crumble, and it is a disaster for the Tomb Kings. Ikit's probably going to charge these guys as the Globes turn and fire point blank range. That'll be really insane damage. Ow, 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 ow. Bounce power tips into almost army losses territory for the Tomb Kings. And the Kepler Guard stop to fight Ikit Claw. Ikit gets into the charge a little bit. Takes a couple 20 damage, but he's not routing just yet. Globes throw at the Bone Giant to get extra damage onto him just to get rid of him. The Kepler Guard are once again charging. They turn to fire. They don't have to because the Rattling Guns are actually still trying to attack, but they will, it looks like. And the Bone Giant charges in. They're going to take shots from both sides. Did the Kepler Guard continue to chase? Or did the Kepler Guard turn and fight Ikit for the damage? What to do? What to do? As the balance of powers turn gets the Tomb Kings really far. Kepler Guard, what do you do? They're still trying to catch the Globes, but they just can't. The Globes are too fast. 7 leadership to stop them from crumbling. The Globes have stopped, however. The Kepler Guard do catch a couple of them. They're going to try and get these guys to rout as the Rattling Guns apply suppressed, which slows down the Kepler Guard even further. And those fucking Rattling Guns existing have saved the Skaven so much. Because if you don't know our tournament rules, something somewhere has to be attacking. And these Rattling Guns have been trying to attack this whole time. So the Skaven are fulfilling the rules. They are doing nothing wrong. And it's because those Rattling Guns exist that neither Ikit nor the Poison Globes have to jump in and actually do something. But the Globes fuck up. A little mistake could cost the Skaven so much. The Globes get caught. The Globes get caught suddenly. And they're routing. Ikit has to dive in and try and save him from the Kepler Guard, but that will leave him exposed too. And we keep seeing his leadership go down to literally 1. So if he ticks down on damage just a little bit more, he'll go to -2. He's got a rout. Oh, he rallies to 6 somehow as a Flensing Rune keeps hurting the Kepler Guard. Kepler Guard going to turn around? Nope, they're going to keep trying to chase the Globes. But the Globes are faster, so they're not going to be able to catch them. ×2 speed. Rattling Guns slow them down further with suppressed. And now with the Globes rallying, they should be able to turn and get 1 volley onto the Kepler Guard and take them out. That is GG. Damn. Wherever that heroic Rattling Gun was that just kept slowing the Kepler Guard, that was huge. 2,000 value on a Globe. Warp Lightning Cannon also got insane value. Cetra got peeled pretty hard by like 1 million Rattling Guns. Can't exactly blame them for that. Nekar Horsemen, Necropolis Knights did fine, Bone Giants did fine, Scream Silkipos did great. Hey, are Night Goblins any better now? Not counting Fanatics? No, they're still terrible if you don't count Fanatics. Next game is some Nurgle versus Lizardmen. Nurgle's PA versus Chain Soldier. That was a banger. It was a banger. It was good. It was quite good. For the Lizardmen build, Slann Mage Priest of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood. A Dread Saurian, not the Shredder of Lustria. Kingseeker, land battles are so much better than domination. I also enjoy land battles more, but I don't know. People can like whatever. Turn makes a lot of good domination content if that's your vibe. We make lots of land battle content here. Some conquest sprinkled in. 4 Red Crested Skink front lines, 4 Skink Skirmishers, 4 Coldwind Spear Riders, besides the 2 big single entities. For Ganego, Forsaken and Marauder mixed front line. 2 Marauder Horse and Throwing Axes, 2 Rot Knights, one of which is the Rotting Riders, Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, with Curse of the Leper and Miasma Pestilence. Interesting. And then the Chaos Lord of Nurgle. A little wild to take all these elite units and not Fleshy Abundance. I appreciate it, but... No one showers versus 5-year-olds with imagination. I also loved dinosaurs when I was a kid. There was a meme I saw that was like too real. It was at some point all boys picked one of these 4 things and it became their entire personality. And it was like an astronaut, dinosaurs, G.I. Joes, and then something else. And for me it was dinosaurs for sure. When I was young I was just like, fuck yeah! All my little dinosaur figurines! Nurgle is trying to catch up to the Skirmishers. I swear, didn't he have 2 Marauder Horse and Throwing Axes? There they are. But the Skink Skirmishers just trying to delay as long as they can. It won't be forever, though. Nurgle's inevitable. Like Thanos. Someday they will get here, and they will suck. Curse of the Leper is popped. Rot or Die is popped. That is a lot of melee damage reflection. That's 34 melee damage reflection. And it looks like the Coldwind Spear Riders want nothing to do with it, but they will get caught. They're now too slow. Coldwind Riders aren't necessarily the fastest creatures in the first place, and then getting poisoned just makes them even slower, as the Dread Saurian tries to opt into this fight. On the other side, Forsaken and Marauders still trying to get to Lizardmen, but the Lizardmen are getting corralled back into this corner. And if they get stuck with their backs against the wall, if anything routes, it'll just route off the map. Land Before Time went hard. It did go hard. I remember a particularly sad scene where someone died, and then Littlefoot had to cry a lot. Was it his mom? I don't remember who died. Kind of surprised that I remember his name was Littlefoot. 1 Coldwind Spear Rider is entirely taken out. That is 1,000 gold off the field here. As the Chaos Lord of Nurgle tries to keep up. He was almost getting picked off by the Dread Saurian, but it looks like the Rotting Riders will turn around and take the fight. So now this is a pretty good Nurgle situation. Rotting Riders plus a Lord and a Hero versus Coldwind Knights and, Coldwind Riders. And Dread Saurian? I'd take that. But with more Coldwind Spear Riders coming in, it looks like Nurgle wants out. The Chaos Lord is almost going to die. Front lines have finally engaged. Red Crested Skinks will trade pretty decently into Marauders of Nurgle, but Nurgle overall wanted the frontline fight with their Forsaken. And just tired of getting kited at the start of the game. The Rotting Riders still trying to fight their way out, but this is a lot of Coldwind Spear Riders nearby. And an overcasted Earthblood to keep healing everybody up. Something is getting cast here as well. A Regrowth 2 onto the Coldwind Spear Riders, but still the Rotting Riders prevail and break out. Trying to get away from this full surround. They break one of the sides of the box and they can get to safety, but it looks like they're actually just going to stand their ground and fight. As Curse of the Leopard gives them a little bit more armor. Not that that matters against all this armor piercing. Man, the Rotting Riders have apparently been putting in work. Yeah, 1,700 value while fighting all of these anti-large cav. Marauder Horse and Throwing Axes catch some of the Skink Skirmishers, and Marauders keep pushing in. Nurgle is keeping the balance power even. Now against the Slann of Life, that much healing, the late game, I don't know. You're not going to be able to keep up with that much healing. No amount of fecundities and slow Children of Nurgle passive proccing is going to catch you up with that type of Slann healing. Rotting Riders cannot afford to rout or they'll lose their 15% damage resistance. I think they can Terror route, but I don't think they can naturally route. As Forsaken close in on the Skinks who are trying to run away. Marauders and Forsaken closing in on them. Gonna catch those guys, slow them down a little bit with poison as the Rotting Riders and Dogs work together to get away from here. These last Cold One Spear Riders that are healthy. All the other Cold One Spear Riders have taken quite a lot of damage. Now the Rotting Riders and Dogs turn back to fight the Cold One Spear Riders yet again. Dogs saturating the area to help try and keep the Rotting Riders up. Lots of melee damage, reflection, and armor yet again. And these Rotting Riders plus the Hero Core have just been like constantly running away. Then they'll turn and fight. Then they'll run away. And then they'll turn and fight. The Lizardmen just keep getting like drawn into it. These guys ain't giving up for nothing. The other Rot Knights that exist, and I kind of forgot about them until now, have apparently also been getting decent fights. And they'll be very crucial in the late game. Because there's still a lot of skirmish skinks, and you need some kind of cav to run them down. Marauder Horsemen throwing axes ain't it. They're too lightly armored, not shielded enough, that the skinks will just take them out on their own. As the Dread Saurian keeps the Rotting Riders running away. And a regrowth for some Cold One Spear Riders up top, so the Lizardmen are getting their shit back together. Dread Saurian's gonna go hunting for Forsaken since his lord abandoned them. But if you were into dinosaurs, you're into Greece, Rome, or Egypt. When I was a little kid, probably Egypt. And then in college, I was kind of into Rome and Greece, and now I'm into none of them. Now I'm in my Japan phase. I'm in my, ooh, feudal Japan is so cool phase. Ooh, samurai are so neat. That and, like, medieval stuff. Like, fucking knights. Love knights. Rotting Riders and Rot Knights hanging out together. With this cluster of 4 units, I'm guessing there's got to be a fecundity coming soon, right? Heal up for these 4 guys as the Dread Saurian tries to regroup with the Slan of Life. Slan still have statuettes? No, no more blood statuettes for the Slan. Nurgle is consolidating their mobile forces, running down anyone that is out of position for the Lizardmen. And the Dread Saurian is fine with you taking your time. He is shooting little machine guns at you from his back the longer you take. This man is straight up a battleship. Is it safe to assume you're a Shogun 2 connoisseur? Yeah, I played a lot of Shogun 2. It was my only Total War game I had ever played. I got Shogun 2 and played a ton. And then I got Total War Warhammer 1, played only campaign. And then Warhammer 2, I joined some of Turin's tournaments, and that's how I got into it. But Shogun 2, Warhammer 1, 2, and 3 are my history here. So the Shredder is still... Not the Shredder. The regular Dread Saurian is still trying to get some stuff done as the Lizardmen come flying out of the trees to engage the Rotting Riders. Rot or Die is popped from the Chaos of Warlord. And some sort of regrowth is getting cast. I can see the flower back in the trees, so it must be for one of the cold ones. Earthblood, Earthblood... Earthblood. Okay. Rot Knights holding it down, and the heroes of Nurgle separate out. They're going to run down the Slan of their own accord. Now, this is a problem, because if the Slan dies, the Dread Saurian is still just kind of a dinosaur. Like, it doesn't have the best leadership. I know it's a crazy expensive unit, but its base leadership's only 70, so if it loses its lord, it's actually in huge trouble. The last of the Cold One Spear Riders are forced away, but unfortunately so are the Rotting Riders. So they lose their 15% damage resistance once and for all. These dogs have been putting in work. 166 kills on Lizardmen, just running down random skinks. The Dread Saurian is here to try and peel for the Slan at last. It is taking a debuff from fighting in the forest. And the Slan managed to get an Earthblood out, so Nurgle falls back. We still have some skirmish cav that don't have any ammo. So I guess they'll just run down skinks and such. Cold One Spear Riders and Red Crested Kings coming back. The entire fight is taking place in the forest. If you know the tournament rules, you might be like, wait, isn't this forest camping? No, the Dread Saurian was outside the forest, the Slan was in the forest. Nurgle went into the forest, the Dread Saurian followed them. Nurgle can back off at any time, and then the Lizardmen have to come out, but they've been constantly taking a fight while in the forest. So the Lizardmen are like, well, I'm not just gonna let my Slan die. So this has actually been fine. Slan did rout, no more heals cast from him until the Dread Saurian can get him some space or some distance, though it doesn't look to be the case. The Dread Saurian's still trying to fight its way out. The Chaos Lord of Nurgle and the Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle have been pretty healthy for quite a while. Really aren't taking that much damage from this Dread Saurian, but the Rotting Riders are routed for a second time. These other Rot Knights are also getting pretty close to routing, and they just get movement orders away. it looks like they want to let the Slaawn get away for a bit so they can chase him somewhere else. So last Red Crested Skinks are getting killed off, but here is still the Dread Saurian being spooky. Rot or Die gives enough leadership for these Rot Knights to stay in it, but the Slaawn is getting a little spooky. Okay, yep, there we go. Chaos Sorcerer Nurgle is going to go take him out. Dread Saurian's still fighting. He ain't giving up for shit. And this is not melee defense. It's melee damage reflection, which is very different. So these Rot Knights can still get hit by the Dread Saurian pretty often. This Chaos Lord is working it down slowly. Slaawn ain't coming back. Exalted Hero is going to make sure of that. The Rotting Riders are back for the final time. I know they shatter. I saw them rout twice naturally. They will shatter. But here we go. The Dread Saurian's taking a ton of damage. Father of Blades lowers his melee attack down to only 37. Cursed Leper gives a bit more armor, but Bounce Power is turning heavily against Lizardmen as the Slaawn has died. The Dread Saurian's leadership completely tanks out. And he is getting a Terror out onto these Rot Knights. The Rotting Rider's getting low, but the Dread Saurian is going to rout, and that'll be GG. Nope, he's back up to 12 leadership. He's back up. He can't quite rout these Rot Knights. There we go, he's gone. What about the Shogun Netflix show? It's on my list. I've heard it's really, really good. Nurgle's PA. His Lord got good value. Those Rot Knights hard carried, though. 3,100 on these guys. 2,750 on the others. Marauder, Horseman, and the dogs also did great. For Chain Soldier, Slaawn did some healing. Red Crested Skinks all paid for themselves. Skink Skirmishers did okay. Cold Spear Riders did honestly all right. And the Dread Saurian, 4,750. Very good stuff from him. But a super close game with a decent amount of healing from both sides. Because the thing is, both single entities and the Rot Knights were all regenerating because they were on Rot Beast mounts. So they didn't have any crazy spells, but I guess they were just trying to passively heal their way to victory. Oh, the Nurgle Lord and Hero don't get passive healing from those guys, from the Rot Beast mounts, so I guess they just healed on their own. Okay, what do we have? 3 games left. Before I get too far away, let's try and remember. I don't think Skaven Ickett's Biker Gang is the best game so far. Karl vs. Lokir was alright. Tomb King's Kislev was pretty good. Brett Dark Elves was okay. This isn't just the closest game, this is also the best game, and that game had a crazy long and kind of boring kite period where I had to fast forward through it, so I'm going to eliminate that one. Still a good game, but you're comparing it to other fantastic games, so it's like, eh. So we had that one. The Lokir versus Franz one, that was pretty damn good. I don't think this one was as good. It was good, but not as good as some of the other ones we're dealing with. So far, we have watched 7 replays, we've eliminated 3. There's still 4 in contention for top spot. Don't worry, chat. You're going to have to vote and figure it out. I'm just going to narrow it down for you. Anti-Kaiju versus the Gentle Rats. Wood Elves and Norska. Why not save some of these for the channel? That's not the event, dude. This is an event, like, it's a planned event for Vermin League. They had collected the best replays over a bunch of time, and I had to cast them and figure out which is the best one, so who gets prizes. Whew. Alrighty, for the Wood Elves, Wild Riders and Great Stag Knights, Deepwood Scouts, all in the Vanguard with 5 Dryads as well. Orion, King of the Wild Hunt, and a Spellsinger of Life with Earthblood. Mass Vanguard from the Wood Elves. For Norska, we have Norska Ice Wolves and Skin Wolves. We have a Marauder Ice Wolf Chariot, for God knows why. And then a bunch of Marauder Hunter Javelins, Marauders for the front line, including the Icewind Marauders. Then we have Throg and a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal with Searing Doom and Final Transmutation. In comes the Cavalry Charges. Great Stag Knights running down Marauders, doing half HP on impact, but getting counter-fired at by these Marauder Hunter Javelins. They have to run away very, very quickly. And Marauder Ice Wolf Chariots doing Marauder Ice Wolf Chariot things, getting stuck in basic infantry immediately and dying. You love to see it. And by that, I'm being sarcastic. You hate to see it. That unit sucks. All right, Wood Elves are closing in on this side, but it looks like the Norskins are overcommitting up here. Overcommitting sounds like a mistake. They are just heavily committing, getting good damage on the Wild Riders and Great Stag Knights, even over the course of a heal. Throg is supporting his Skin Wolves through it, and the Wintertooth Crown gives them extra melee defense and makes them unbreakable. So Orion jumps into the front line. Some Ice Wolves are trying to get back onto the Deepwood Scouts and shut them down, but Wild Riders are quickly here to stop those there, so we don't say shut down several times in a row. Great Stag Knights fighting a pretty bad fight, though. There's a lot of Skin Wolves and Dogs in this area. Dryads are holding some of the pressure back, but still, these Wild Riders are going to take a shellacking. Other Great Stag Knights and Wild Riders break out from the high ground, though. They are going to come rear charge the Skin Wolves, maybe route that fragile leadership of the Wolves, get them out of here, while the Race to the Frozen Heart just fought a lot of Norskins up top, distracted them for quite a bit. Still have a couple Javelin throwers here and there. Nice Searing Doom? Or was that... That was a Searing Doom from Norska that just friendly fired their own Skin Wolves. Okay, I was like, is that the Hawk's Talon? Because it looks very similar, but no, it wasn't. Throg stuck fighting Orion. Orion will definitely win that fight. Both are anti-large melee specialists, but Orion's just a bit thicker, and Throg doesn't have the leadership to stand. As you can see, he's freaking terror routing right now. So we still have a lot of Skin Wolves. We still have some Marauders. We still have some Javelin throwers if they can stay alive, though Great Stag Knights did just find their way onto these guys. I think the Wood Elves have got this, though. Orion's super healthy. We still have 2 Deepwood Scouts with a lot of ammo and HP. We still have a good amount of cavalry for the Wood Elves to do some peeling. In what world is Brett Heelkite good game? I fast forwarded through that nonsense. I canceled it. It was a close game. Orion is chucking javelins at the back of Throg. Trying to get a little bit more poke damage on him, but these Deepwood Scouts ain't going nowhere. These Great Stag Knights keep trying to peel off the Skin Wolves. The Marauder Ice Wolf Chariot is trying his absolute best. He's got 900 value, which is actually shocking to me, because I feel like he's just been sitting around doing no damage ever. More dogs are back in. This could be a turning point for Norska if they take out both the Deepwood Scouts. The Wood Elves are getting slowly whittled down. Still have these jab throwers. We might want to be a little careful before walking straight into melee here. Looks like they're going to throw at the Great Stag Knights to get rid of those guys. Big volley. No whammies. And some dead Great Stag Knights. Norska's final attempt at shutting down the Deepwood Scouts is going pretty well. They got one. The other one is still pretty healthy, but how are these Ice Wolf Chariots still in the fight? Is everyone ignoring them? Great Stag Knights aren't trying to kill them. Great Stag Knights are probably trying to kill the Skin Wolves. All right, I can respect that. Still might want to kill them eventually. As Orion is shooting at something. Probably shoot at Throg. Please shoot at Throg. Deepwood Scouts trying to clear out those jab throwers as Norska is dragging this back towards the middle balance of power-wise. Can somebody hit the fucking Ice Wolf Chariot? It's so low. Just kill it. Just kill it. They're shooting at Throg. Oh, no. They're shooting at Throg. I don't understand why you'd pick Throg but not have the crown. He has the crown. He used the crown earlier. It's right there. He has the Winter Tooth crown. Yeah, we saw it. We saw it. All right, Skin Wolves route off. Finally, the Wood Elves are able to get rid of those guys. There's still a third one back here, and both of the Wild Riders and Great Stag Knights are pushed away by this final Skin Wolf. Ice Wolf Chariot still here, and Orion is like, fine, I'll kill it if no one else fucking will. Walks up, kills 2 models on the charge. The third one is gonna rout, and Orion's like, no, no, I am sick of you, Ice Wolf Chariot, fuck you, and he just kills it outright. I love you, Orion. You're the only thing keeping me sane in these dark times. Love the Wild Eternal Deepwood Guard Riders. Will, that is some deep lore. That is some deep lore. So we still have a full health Dryad, still have a very healthy Orion, healing caster, Deepwood Scout with a decent amount of ammunition and HP. The Wood Elves are out of cavalry. It's all gone. That is it. For Norska, full health Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. I don't know how much Winds of Magic he has left, because I haven't seen a lot of Final Transmutations, just Searing Dooms, and those are pretty cheap, so don't know. Throg is trying to heal up. His healing cap's probably right around the corner, so he probably has 1 full HP bar left in him. We only have 1 Jav Thrower. There's a Skin Wolf trying to regenerate. There's other Skin Wolves trying to regenerate and rally. And I don't love these Dryads trying to chase Skin Wolves. That's not really working out for them. I guess they're just trying to keep them in range for the Deepwood Scouts, but I think you rally around Orion and have Orion just sprint up and kill Throg. 55 speed, Throg's 50. Ooh, wow, Throg is faster than Orion? That's not right. That's not right at all. Orion should be faster than Throg, for sure. All right, in comes the fight. Deepwood Scouts, and everybody's trying to re-rally and get back to Orion, but they might have separated themselves out too far. Because what I was going to say is Orion should just be sprinting at Throg and then have Deepwood Scout support. Because now Wintertooth Crown is down, making Skinwolves unbreakable. Plus Throg. In comes Overcast, Final Transmutation. Earthblood's trying to counteract it, but the Earthblood Overcast today have been killing a lot of life casters. As Orion is running after the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal, but I don't know, he's in big trouble. Does he even have Cloak of Isha? Yeah, he has Cloak of Isha, so he will get some healing and damage resistance when he gets low like that. But he needs to fight back. He can't keep running from Throg, because he's never going to make it. Throg is 1 speed faster, but Throg also has Frostbite. You need to fight. You can't keep taking hits in the back. Orion! Fight, you coward! He got knocked over briefly. That saved him for a bit. Now he got orders to fight on top of Dryads with Deepwood Scouts over the top. All right, because if he kept trying to run, that would have been a disastrous mistake. Skinwolves try and rally to Throg's side as the Shaman Sorcerer probably going to throw a Searing Doom on the Dryads when they blob up on Throg. We have more Skinwolves on the high ground. Going to get downhill charges as well into these Dryads. But the Deepwood Scout Overcast Fire really going to hurt Throg quite a lot. There is the Searing Doom onto the Deepwood Scouts, not onto the Dryads. So leaving this fight to its fate as Orion is surrounded by Skinwolves and Throg, but that Cloak of Isha is brutal. 20% damage resistance on top of his already 20% physical resistance. Throg nor the Skinwolves do magic damage, so that is 40% resistance for Orion, and he is healing up the whole time. He is frustratingly hard to kill when he's that low. It's almost like a bait that he's baiting you to keep attacking him while Throg is getting close to breaking. Orion is chilling. Unbreakable is fine. Terror out away. The Skinwolf gets an Earthblood over the top as well. Throg is going to terror out. And this will be his second route if he actually does entirely route. He might get away though. 56 speed against her 34. Her charging is keeping her in range of him, but she can't actually do it in the long run. Throg rallies. He needs to turn and fight. And if he can get Wintertooth Crown, he'll actually be okay. As the Shaman Sorcerer throws out a quick Final Transmutation. Oh, that's a big one. Onto 2 Dryads and Orion this late in the game. That's huge. Huge. So Throg is still chilling. He's currently trying to kill the healing caster. Getting good damage onto her as the Dryads stack up. Orion is charging back into the fight, though. Wintertooth Crown is the only thing that can save Throg, because he's going to rout as soon as Orion joins the fight without it. And he needs the melee defense. He's going to rout. There it is, Wintertooth Crown. Can he somehow one-shot Orion in this time while Marauders rear charge the Deepwood Scouts to get rid of those guys? Orion does run away, but Throg's after him. Throg's faster and has chill. Chill bite, frostbite, chilling frostbite, chilling bite of frost chilling. But he can't do it. He's missing too many attacks on Orion as it is. There's a lot of Dryads left. There's still a healing caster, and Throg has no support. Without the Wintertooth Crown, he immediately routs, and that'll be GG. Why is there only snowfall in one spot? So distracting. Happens. Happens. 2,200 value for Orion. Dryads, pretty solid value on those guys. Deepwood Scouts did well. The Wild Riders and Great Stag Knights didn't get a ton of value, but they just had to keep stuff online. For the Gentle Rat, Throg did alright. Shaman Caster did alright. Pretty darn good. Better than alright, I should say. Javelin Throwers, a couple got good value. A couple got shut down. Ice Wolf Chariot got insane value, but I attribute that to the Wood Elves entirely ignoring it when it was at like 10% HP and it was rolling through their guys, and I'm like, dude, just someone shoot it with one volley, or like a Wild Rider attack it once, or Orion attack it once. And Orion came back and deleted it instantly. I'm like, thank you. That should have been done 3 charges ago. Pretty good game. Pretty good game. 2 games left. 2 games left, and both are high elf games. But we get our first Greenskin game in a while. Pigman 202 versus Ash. Pigman taking the biggin. Dat dare biggin. That dem dare happens to dem dare be a biggin. For the High Elves, their army is smaller, so we're just going to start with them. We have Imric on his dragon with just his breath attack. No Lord of Dragons, no Dragonhorn. Frontline of 5 spearmen, triple archers, all with light armor, including the Talons of Torquelada. Then we have the Fireborn, 2 more Dragon Princes, and a Regrowth caster. So, Dragon and Dragon Prince is going to try and carry in melee. On this side for the Greenskins, triple Savage Orc Boy, Debiggin, Rogue Idol ROR, couple Orc Boar Biggins, 3 of those, and then a front line of the 8 Peak Loons, and then another Night Goblin Fanatic. Yes, 2 Night Goblin Fanatics, 4 Goblins regular, an Orc Shaman with Edbutt and Fists of Gork, and then Skarsnik with his Rampage and Spite to Bad Moon. Debiggin is more than happy to throw out the tightly packed Elven formations. Without some A+ casting. Thanks, Long Paul. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Ooh. Killed 4 Fireborn models with that rock. You hate to see it. Imric's lurking on the sides, staying far enough away from Skarsnik so he doesn't get rampaged. Nice Edbutt down the middle. Ow. A little bit of poke. How expensive is Edbutt? Is it 7? 7's too expensive. That's 5. Yeah, that's fine. I still prefer Brain Burster, personally. The archers are in range. High Elf archers will beat 3 Savage Orc boys, but we do have the support of the Biggin, and we can see already that's done so much damage to town. Torquilata. In come the Spinning Loons. Some serious friendly fire on those, but overall got the job done. Went through the right targets. We have more Night Goblins somewhere. They're trying to get involved. Where's the last Night Goblin? Hang on. I don't want to miss another Spinning Loon. Where the fuck? There he is. He's way over there. Okay. Imric lands. Some Boar Boys are going to charge him, but unless Skarsnik has his debuff, the Rampage also has -24 melee attack, or we have a Fists of Gork, they're just not going to have enough oomph to get through Imric. And there's a Fermented Fungi used onto the Fireborn instead. Really good target. Overcast Regrowth tries to keep them safe, but they're charging through. And it looks like the Boar Boys were trying to just draw them further and further in while they were still rampaging. In comes the counter charge, but still the Fireborn getting a decent amount of damage out. In comes a Wah as well. That'll probably be the death of the Fireborn overall. Fists of Gork, Spite of the Bad Moon, popped in the Broken Tusk Mob. Yeah, this wasn't all a plan to kill the Fireborn, but the other Dragon Princes are coming in, and Imric is up above. He needs to get a Breath Attack out, and quickly. Yeah, right onto the cluster of Orc Boar Boy Biggins. That was a nice counter shot. Beautiful trap and surround by Pigman, but at least Ash was fighting back. Really big dive in on top of Dragon Princes. That's going to cause a lot of terror routes and get those Pig Cav out of here. For the High Elves, we still have 1 archer that is healthy firing over the top. The rest have decent models to get a little bit of work in, and more Dragon Princes are pouring into the sides. So now it's about to get a little messy for the Greenskins. They're starting to lose that leadership. Starting to fall apart a bit as more Spinning Loons go through sideways down the Spearmen, getting a lot of value as the Spearmen run forward to close the gap. Dragon Prince is stuck in the fight of their lives, but more terror routes closing in, killing off a lot of Savage Orc boys. Orc Boar Biggins also routing off, so the High Elves are depleting the Greenskins backline mightily, doing so much damage back there, but the Greenskins are massacring the Elven front lines of both sides, trading a lot of damage as another Spinning Loons goes out from the AP Loons, killing more archers. The High Elves are going to have issues chasing off these Greenskin Cav. The Fireborn are going to get another regrowth, try and keep them alive. I like that it's undercast. They didn't have a lot of models, so I don't know how much healing they actually have left to get. Overcasting might have been a bit of a waste, so undercast was good. The Fireborn are just going to be tasked to chase off the Broken Tusk Mob and some of these Savage Orc boys. I like that. More Spinning Loons going through that front line. Not enough damage is being put out against the Greenskins to stop them from getting their Loons over and over and over again. Full health Fireborn also helping to chase down the Savage Orc boys, but that leaves Imric dueling the Rogue Idol, which is not something you want. Rogue Idol is bad at a lot of things, but hitting large targets is not one of them. Fermented Fungi is going to keep Imric in place. 97 melee attack on the Biggin. These Dragon Princes are getting countercharged by Orc Boar Biggins. Imric's still stuck in place, taking a lot of damage. He's going to need some help somewhere sometime, but the full health Dragon Princes up on the top ground are going to spend their time chasing down Savage Orc boys. Again, I don't hate that they're chasing. I'm just nervous that Imric might need them more. The Fireborn have rejoined the fight. They're anti-large and armor piercing. Very important versus the Rogue Idol, but Imric is taking so much damage. Really what needs to happen here is the Fireborn need to disengage and chase down some stuff, and then Imric just needs to get back on the sky and get to safety. As the Goblin front line is getting through the High Elves, no more archer support for the High Elves. The High Elves want this game to go longer. They have plenty of healing. Healing Elite Cav. They get Overcast or Regrowth on Imric and still get some good damage out. In fact, there is the Regrowth on Imric now. And a really good Breath Attack onto the Rogue Idol. Just getting some free damage since he can't possibly dodge it. He's too big. All right, so the High Elves definitely in this. Really nice headbutt down that line, though. And the late game looks like it'll have plenty of goblins. And that could be problematic, actually. Because we saw how much damage Imric got versus the Rogue Idol with his Dragon Prince support when there was no goblins at its feet. But if the goblins are there to break the Dragon Prince charge and just hold the Dragon Princes away from the Rogue Idol while it fights Imric... Oh! That shot! Kaiju, I do remember that. That was silly, and I got very mad at you. But that Rogue Idol shot did so much damage to the Dragon Princes there. As now he just kind of stands around stupidly and does nothing. Oh, this could be brutal. Big Dragon Prince charge coming in on goblins whose leadership is already kind of faltering from being next to a giant frickin' dragon. But the charge doesn't get that much damage out, and it honestly doesn't really work for him as Imric charges back in. But he's in a 3v1. Yeah, you are super lucky you took off. Please stay in the sky. Fermented fungi down on the Dragon Princes. They can't rally. They can't recharge. So they're just stuck here with 22 melee defense fighting goblins. Orc Shaman and Skarsnik is coming in. But Imric's going to stop and duel the biggin. As the Lifecaster is nowhere to be found. We need more regrowths if possible. But these Dragon Princes got completely destroyed by that Rampage. Imric is still trying to fight the Rogue Idol. He's getting some damage out here and there. It's a pretty even fight as the High Elf Spears hold for now. Dragon Prince is going to charge away. But the High Elves have got to use their superior mobility. They've got to be getting cycle charging in and whatnot. Just fighting on top of goblins is not the way to go. So I'm glad that as soon as the Rampage wore off, his Dragon Prince has got orders. That's fine. You can't control a Rampage. I'm not criticizing him for the Rampage, but just making sure he didn't stay in the fight. Imric's taking some damage, but in come the Fireborn with a bit of a charge. Rogue Idol still has 8,000 HP. Imric has about 6,000 without any healing just yet. As in come the Dragon Princes onto the Goblins. There, they get a little bit more impact damage, but they're already so low. They don't have enough models to really get that good damage out. Another overcasted regrowth onto Imric, and Imric was trying to hit Skarsnik. He's got to focus up. He can't be splitting his time between the Rogue Idol and Skarsnik. And yeah, he's got no support now, so he's taking a lot of damage from both those characters. In come the last of the Dragon Princes. Everybody else is routing. We have a random High Elf Mage on the high ground who can't do very much. Balance power is 50-50. So the Rogue Idol has seen better days. Then these are all just goblins. And I think Skarsnik's out of fermented fungi. Yeah, he's used all of his fermented fungi, so there's no more Rampage to be found. The Fireborn, I guess they can maybe use a regrowth, but they're already so low on models, I don't know if it's even worth it. They might just want to save their regrowths for, I guess, these Dragon Princes, who are trying to cycle charge. The Fireborn are back in with Imric once more. Fists of Gork is down into the Biggin, though. He's super low. Imric is nearly heal capped, but the Biggin's down below 5,000 HP. Dragon Prince is still trying to get damage out on these goblins, but there's just too many goblin bodies. If there are any regrowths left, they have to go into this last Dragon Prince. These other ones, they have too little models to really matter that much. The Fireborn are fighting their asses off, but it's not worth, like, healing 7 models. And the Rogue Idol's getting very low. So is Imric, and Imric has no more healing to get, really. Dragon Prince's reset. The Rogue Idol still at 4,400 HP. Imric at 5,300. He needs to reset his charge bonus is what he needs to do. As the Rogue Idol goes into its final mode, it is rampaging, gets extra stats, way more weapon strength, but it also loses more armor, and it's not unbreakable. So it's a construct, right? Yeah, I can start crumbling. Goblins are all of a sudden routing, giving the High Elves some time. Time to chase things down, time to get another regrowth off on these Dragon Princes, perhaps. But Imric looks like he might just be going for the kill. They're not going to play this slow. They're not going to run down goblins. They're going to try and get this Rogue Idol while it's rampaging. Skarsnik gets a big hit onto Imric, but in come all the Dragon Princes. Imric gets double hit by Skarsnik and the Rogue Idol. As the charge comes in from the Dragon Princes, Imric is getting his ass handed to him. He's down to 2,900 HP. The Rogue Idol's at 2,300, and Skarsnik is still here. It's not like if the Rogue Idol dies, this game is just over. I mean, Skarsnik is still chilling. As the Rogue Idol gets very low. Fists of Gork trying to give it extra stats. It is crumbling slightly, but a Terror up from one Dragon Prince, a Shatter from another, and Imric gets up into the sky, but a regrowth overcast onto those Dragon Princes. They only have 12 models. They can't get that much healing, but they can try. As Imric looks like he's going to refresh the cycle charge. Again, the Rogue Idol was crumbling, but now it has rallied, still rampaging. Takes a hit from Imric, takes another hit from Imric, but Imric takes a nasty hit from the Rogue Idol. And from Skarsnik again, this little duo doing so much damage. The Rogue Idol is back to positive leadership, down to negative, back to positive. Imric's taking too much damage. He's also gonna fucking die. And I don't think the High Elves can do this. I don't know what kills Skarsnik at this point. Like, even if you kill the Rogue Idol, which still is a maybe. All right, you finally killed it. And it drops down, does this kind of weird explosion, so it's gonna kill some more Dragon Princes. But like, what can kill Skarsnik? Nothing. Nice headbutt to end the game. That probably does end the game because the spearmen are going to rout and that's army losses. Imric has 40 HP and 1 leadership. He's trying to come back into the fight, but he'll rout. Now it's just a random mage who is going to die. Get stabbed in the butt for army losses. Ash tried, man. He was trying to cycle charge. 3,000 damage value on Imric. Archers didn't get a lot done, unfortunately, for them. Dragon Princes did alright, but it was the Imric show. Skarsnik, 1,900 value for himself. Spinning Loon Goblins both did really great. Savage Orc Aura Boys didn't, not great. Orc Borbigans did okay. And the Rogue Idol, 3,800, very nice. Potato Salad is true. Hobbs would have won if they brought Null and Iron Sides. If they had access to the entire Empire roster, then yeah. Then yeah. High Elves Weeping, they lost Fire Resist. Okay, let's see. Final game of the day before the big vote. Before you guys get to decide who's the winner. Gotrek Starbreaker versus Black Knight. In the Miss Way, they also needed a Plague Claw Catapult. Yeah, dude. Hobbs would have won if they had the Empire and Skaven rosters both, as well as the High Elf roster. Yeah, guys. Let's keep providing that helpful feedback. Yeah. Why not? Fuck yeah, why not? Alright, for Gotrek's build, double Ancient Salamander, the Umbral Tide, 2 Kroxigors, one of which is the Sacred Kroxigor ROR, the Core of Wattle, some Skink Skirmishers, some Skink Cohorts, 5 Chameleon Stalkers, a Heaven Skink with Comet, and then a Fire Slan with Burning Head and Flaming Sword of Rune. On the other side for the High Elves, Lyrian Reaver Archers, Silver Helms, a front line of Spearmen, back line of Archers, the Fireborn in the very far back, a Healing Caster, and Imric in the sky. In come the Chameleon Stalkers, running forward. It says they threw their grenades, but you could have fooled me because I didn't see any of them go off ever. Chameleon Stalkers in the front line. One of them is already getting trash canned. The other ones are just trying to get into the fight. And I still think these units suck as they're trying to get through Spearmen and not having a good time of it. Alright. Nice big Burning Head down the Archers, but it is going to curve away from the other ones. Tries to curve back in, but is not quite there. So the Burning Head just does a little bit of damage here and there. As Imric gets an overcasted Earthblood already. He has some fire resistance, doesn't he? Missile resist and fire resist for Imric. Yeah, he's pretty tanky against the Umbral Tide. Silver Helm's trying to get into the back line, run down the Ancient Salamander, be annoying, be a nuisance. Good for them, as a banishment falls up on the Archers, already weakened by the Burning Head. The Fireborn are here. Try and charge in and save Imric. Get him away from the Kroxigors, who have Lord of Dragons on them. 0 melee attack, 11 melee defense. They should be pretty easy for the Fireborn to kill, but there are the Sacred Core of the Quaddle nearby. And a lot of other annoying things. Lyrian Reaver Archers actually get punked by the Umbral Tide on the way in. Silverhelm getting a good kill on the Ancient Salamander. They should be able to finish that guy off and rout him. That'll be a good win for the High Elves when they sorely need, as the Fireborn are falling back and the Lizardmen break through the front line and are now going to spend the rest of the game chasing Archers down. Imric's going to try and have something to say about that as other Silver Helms rear charge Chameleon Stalkers and even more cavalry stop the Ancient Salamander. Lizardman backline seems to be okay at defending itself, though, as this Ancient Salamander, who previously took so much damage from Silver Helms, is now chilling. I'm guessing their charge bonus wore off, and now they're having a hard time actually getting solid hits in. As downhill shots from the Salamander hunting packs can peel these guys. Yeah, that's not ideal. It's the High Elf backline. Harassment is a bust. Silver Helms disappointing the High Elves once again. Name a more iconic duo, but this is bad. The Lizardmen are overextending with the Core of Wattle. If the Fireborn had been able to get over there and charge them without any skink support or anything, the Fireborn would have like insta-killed the Core of Wattle. And they still could do decent damage, but now there's a bunch of Silver Helms in their way. So that could have been a disaster. It ended up just being like fine. So the Salamanders were saved. Both the Salamanders are around somewhere. Yeah, they're charging through the front line. And the High Elves are just constantly on the retreat. Earthblood healing up the Fireborn a little bit. It looks like Court of Wattle realized they might be in over their skis. Gonna leave a Skink cohort behind to protect them from the cavalry charges. And it looks like they keep getting orders to run away, but they actually get drawn back into melee combat. Okay. Okay. That's how you want to play it? That's fine. Archers are busy counterfiring against Skink skirmishers. They don't notice a Salamander creeping up on them. The Umbral Tide get a couple shots in. It looks like Cold Waddle are just going to try and hold these guys in place for all the damage they can put in. Cold Waddle get a Flaming Sword of Ruin to try and give them fire attacks as well. Everybody's dealing fire stuff. Fireborn also still have fire resistance, right? 35%. Yeah. Okay, so the Court of Waddle's still going to die. So Fireborn fall back. Archers are firing in on the Court of Waddle as well. Balance power is slightly Lizardmen favored. But I'm concerned. If the Fireborn cannot walk straight into a banishment, ow. Owie, owie. The Fireborn can run into the back line. They can kill the Umbral Tide pretty quick. They could even kill those Crocsagors, honestly. I don't know. The only thing that sucks for them is there's a lot for the Fireborn to do, and maybe not a lot of Fireborn left to do it. I just don't get what Stalkers are supposed to do. Yeah, they're supposed to be like shock commando infantry, but they just kind of are way too janky and suck too much to get that done. As the Salamanders are setting up, the Fireborn are not healthy enough to be able to kill everything that's left. The Lizardmen have taken a pretty decisive lead on the balance power. And I think the biggest loser here is the Silverhelms. The Silverhelms haven't done nearly enough, and it's not the player's fault. I feel like Black Knight has been cycle charging his ass off, and the Silverhelms just didn't do any damage when he got him in a good position. Imric snipes out the Heavens Caster. The Court of Waddle are also on their way out, but there's a full health Crocsor coming up, and we still have the Umbral Tide able to do some damage. If this game gets really drawn out, maybe Earthblood spam on the Fireborn and Imric can save the High Elves, but I am suspect. As the Salamander scuttles away. Silverhelm still getting shot by the Umbral Tide. I have 1,300 value. It's not nothing. Meanwhile, the Salamander's not going to let the High Elves play the long game. It is just going to artillery strike anything that ignores it. Imric lands on it. Should get a big attack, but misses the first charge. Hits the second one. Hits the third. Fireborn jump in onto the Court of Waddle. Going to take them out, but I'm mostly worried about this full health Crocsor right here. If it gets involved in the fight, it could take out the Fireborn models pretty quick. And the Fireborn don't have regrowth. They need a long time to heal up with a Life Mage with Earthblood. Burning Head down the Archers to rout them off. Get rid of that support. The Fireborn are trying to get away. Big Fireballs coming in. They lost 2 more models. 3. But Imric killed an entire Ancient Salamander in that time. And there is a teeny tiny bit of fraudulent balance of power. Do I think the Lizardmen are ahead? Yes. Yes, I definitely do. But the full health Slann actually doesn't matter that much at this point in the game. Like, Imric can kill that thing pretty easily if it comes down to just him. The main problem he's going to have to deal with is the Umbral Tide shooting him while the Crocsagor's holding him in place. That's a big fucking deal. Heaven Skink is fighting the Life Caster, trying to keep her away from Imric, and it looks like it is successful as Army Losses takes out the High Elves. And that is GG. Alright, don't leave. I need you to vote for who wins this fucking thing. For Gotrek, his Fire Slann got a lot of damage value. His Chameleon Stalkers did okay. Crocsagors, Skink Skirmishers did fine, and Salamander Hunting Packs did very well. For Black Knight, Imric did fine. Silverhelms were a tragedy. He got them in pretty good situations, and then they're just like, never mind, we suck. Archers didn't get a lot done either. Spearmen did okay. I will eliminate that game because I don't think it's the best one tonight. I have to get you guys down to 4 options, huh? 4 options. So what do we have left? We have 6 games left. I have to eliminate 2 of these. That came down to just the Kepler Guard. Oh, wait, sorry, the Tomb Guard Halberds, and they did it. That one came down to a Rattling Gun Peeling. This one was pretty good, but I will be honest, it was a bit of a Nurgle blob fight for a long time against the Dreadsaurian, so Blob of Cav versus Blob of Cav, I'll cut that one out because we got to cut one out. This one was okay. I questioned Orion's decision making, but it was okay. I gotta cut one more. I feel like the Dark Elves versus Empire was a really cool comeback, though. It wasn't like the closest game, because at the end, the Cold Knights definitely had it. But the Dark Shards being able to shoot the War Wagons, I don't know. That was a cool close game. I gotta eliminate one more game. I gotta remember it's not about closeness, it's about how good of a game it was, and just watching Imric and Dragon Prince's cycle charge a Rogue Idol over and over again is not my favorite thing. So let me see. Yes. I will eliminate that one, but it's hard. Coming down to this last 5, this is really hard. So I will get rid of that one just because if it's purely fun stuff, then watching regrowth and cycle charging isn't exactly news. All right, you're up. Who fucking wins? I'm going to get the poll up. So let's do which wins free DLC. Remember, this is for a real prize, so take it somewhat seriously. Try and reward someone who actually had a good game. Dark Elf Comeback. Then we had Rattling Gun Saviors. Because if you didn't watch that game, Rattling Gun Suppression slowed down the Kepler Guard enough that globes could kite them out. Then we had Tomb Guard Best Guard. A super close late game where the Tomb Guard could not be bested. And then we have Throg is a punk ass. All right, cast your votes. Who wins the DLC? Is it Anti-Kaiju? Is it Contrarian Codex? Is it Captain Telis? Or is it John F.B.? Your votes determine who gets the free DLC or a Discord profile picture, depending on what they pick. But yeah. So we'll see what you guys say. I like dinosaurs. Okay. All right. All right. We like dinosaurs. Alfard. That, dude, okay. That Nurgle one was hard to get rid of. The Nurgle and dinosaur one was pretty brutal, but, like, I don't think any of them were bad. I just had to cut one, and I was like, okay, I guess, like, a Dreadsaurian blob fight isn't the best thing ever when we're comparing a bunch of best things ever. Like, out of the 10 games today, there was maybe one I didn't enjoy. I enjoyed 9 out of 10. And they were culled by my admins to be the closest ones. Rattling Gun Saviors is at 42% with 24 votes. We have 73 people watching, so I'll give it a little bit more time. There could be a rally, but it looks like Rattling Gun Saviors is going to fucking win this. How's your stroke game? Do you mean having a stroke? Skarsnik and the Rogue Idol. Damn. I would have picked the Nurgle one, but Skaven's number 2. Alright. Alright, that's allowed. There was a lot of good ones. Oh boy. Oh boy. Rattling Guns OP. Alright, we got 25 votes. I'm gonna start the countdown. Oh! Some late game stuff. Tomb Guard is catching up. Dark Elf Comeback's catching up. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Will you upload the winner as a standalone video? Maybe. Maybe. Possibly. Okay, where now with the delay, where are you people at? Let's listen. 4, 3, 2. This is the live stream. 1. All right, so even with the delay, you can't say I ended it early. With 39% of the vote out of 4 options, Rattling Gun Saviors takes it. Contrarian Codex versus Ash. I'll message Contrarian Codex and let them know they have won. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. It was fun. It was a good stream. Please subscribe if you haven't. I know. You hate getting asked that. But like, seriously, from the YouTube end, if people subscribe, YouTube's like, people like this, and they'll recommend it to more people. If you watch stuff, it also recommends it to more people, but it recommends less. Like, subscribers is the easiest way to help. Then watching my videos, then commenting, then liking. Those are the order of most helpful. All of them are helpful, but in that order. If you don't feel like subscribing, also fine. But I do have, I gotta throw it out there. I gotta be like, hey, hit the button, hey. Obviously giving money, it helps me a ton. I was just talking about YouTube metrics and growth. Money has nothing to do with growth. Money is just nice. Money I use to feed myself, feed my body. Change Change the rules, stop the vote. No! That delay killed your countdown? No, I listened for the delay. I went back, I hit live. I listened. Cool idea, Hummus. I take no credit for this one. It was my Discord mod team. I literally had nothing to do with it. I just said... I poked them and I said, hey, can you guys host a ladder event of some kind? And they hosted it and they did great. We love our Discord mod team. Goodbye, everybody. What if you do all the things on YouTube? Then that's extra fantastic. And you're going above and beyond the Call of Duty. Ha! Call of Duty. Black Ops 6. They paid me a lot of money to mention that at the end.